Yes, people. Oh God, what has happened here? Yes, people. Welcome back to another stream on the channel. We're talking Liverpool again. Make sure, people, if you're joining the stream, you're smashing the like button, you're subscribing to the channel. We're going to be live for a bit today. We're going to be live for a good hour and a half to 2 hours. Already got some people in the building. We got Kerkez. Here we go soon, people. It's happening. We're talking Florian Wirtz. They're the two men we're talking in today. We might talk a bit about Luis Diaz, etc. But people, make sure you smash the like button. You're subscribing. Do all those important things. Let's get 20 likes ASAP. Let's go into some of the comments. Here we go. Kerkez today. Big up my bro. Smash the likes. Kerkez. When do you think we'll get the Here We Go for Wirtz? Once we got the Here We Go for Kerkez. That's what I think. I think we get the Here We Go for Florian Wirtz once Kerkez once we got the Here We Go for him. But people, make sure before we start talking about the news, like I said, we always aim for 50 likes on every single live that we do, and yeah, it's important that we keep doing that, continuing goal. We've already got 17 people in the building. Let's try and get those up to 10 likes. Come on, peeps. So, Fabrizio Romano has come out and spoken that Liverpool are prepared to seal deal Milos Kerkez deal with one more round of talks to get over the line. Bournemouth and Liverpool are finalising an agreement over personal terms in place last week. Here we go soon. So basically, we're going to get the Here We Go. He's going to be a Liverpool player. He's going to be a Liverpool player in a matter of hours, in a matter of days. Yeah, there's nothing anyone can do. He's going to be a Liverpool player, guys. He is going to be a Liverpool player. And I am so excited, man. Like, let me pull up the tweets where people are thinking. We've got some information we do need to go over to today. But this saw Ben Jacobs, I'd say, and also Alex Crook, giving in the credit that breaking. Liverpool close to finalising a move for Milos Kerkez. Clubs in advanced talks over a fee up to 40 million. Kerkez has already agreed personal terms. So he's already done the personal terms. That's already bish bash bosh completed. Now it's about just agreeing on the fee. I believe this deal is probably going to be done either today or tomorrow. We're going to get the Here We Go for Kerkez, in my humble opinion. I think this deal is going to be 35 million plus a couple of millions of add-ons. That's what I think. Bournemouth wanted 40 to 45 million in a package of a deal. They're going to get that. I think Liverpool just looked at it and thought, look, let's just pay the money. This is what we're going to have to pay. And that is what I think is ultimately going to happen. And yeah, he's already done in personal terms. I think Kirk has agreed his personal terms basically months ago. He's been liking Liverpool pictures. He's been liking Liverpool tweets. He's been liking Instagram stories, etc. Yeah, there's nothing that this deal is. There's nothing that basically and anything can happen that this deal wouldn't be getting done. Like, this deal is gonna happen. And yeah, people, let me know, how excited are you? Kerkez is, I'm gonna say it now, he's a Liverpool player. Now, I know he hasn't done his medical and that, but he's gonna sign for Liverpool. He will be a Liverpool player next season. He will be playing as that left back for next season for the Reds. It's gonna happen. It's time to get excited. It's time to Get your Kerkez shirts ready, your Wirtz shirts ready. Wirtz playing tomorrow. Then they play tonight. Nations League. No, Germany play tonight, bro. So Wirtz will be playing tonight. And I saw Julian Nagelsmann he's basically confirming it. He basically confirmed it in his press conference, which was quite funny. So, yeah, we moved there. But yeah, Wirtz will probably most likely be playing tonight, mate. Yeah, I think we can pretty much confirm that. So yeah, Kerkez, we're closing in on the deal. I did a video this morning. People, this is an absolute massive deal. I feel like Kerkez isn't getting enough chat, enough talk said about him. I feel like he probably deserves a lot more. Rightly so, I get why people are excited by obviously Florian Wirtz and other players that Liverpool are being linked with. But this is a big deal. This is a big deal. This is a massive deal. We have Quansah is going to go. We all know this. Andy Robertson will become the backup for Liverpool. Right? So he will become the backup for Liverpool, right? And Kerkez is going to be our left back for the next. He's 21. He's going to be our backup for the next 8+ years at this football club. All willing be, he keeps fit and injuries and stuff, and reaches his full maximum potential. He's going to be at this football club for a very long time, and I think that's a big reason why Liverpool just wanted to pay the money, because he's got age on his side and a really good injury-prone record. So Liverpool have looked at it. Look, 40 million. Yes, it's a lot for a left back, but if we can recuperate a bit of money in the left back situation with Kostas Tsimikas, I suspect that Liverpool will be looking at this like, look, if we can get 15 mil for a left back, that's calm. That's fine by us. We use that money, we go and use it to put it towards Kerkez. So then, therefore, Kerkez will probably, realistically, we're spending probably about 25 million on him, because we're probably going to sell costs just for 10 to 15 million. So that's another point to look at it from that standpoint of view. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think we should. I'm not even concerned about basically how much we're going to be spending on him, because in my opinion, it is. It's worth the money in this day and age. I think you look at other positions. Yeah, you could have argued maybe an Ignori for the price, but I think Kerkez is actually an all-rounded better left back, and obviously, etc. He is younger, and Kerkez was literally the best left back in the league last season. Big up yourself, bro, in the chat. Kerkez was literally the best left back in the league last season. And I don't think many people would argue or disagree against that point. He was literally the best left back in the league last season. I think you could argue Fulham's Robertson. Obviously I know he's definitely going to be up there for a shout, but ultimately we've got one of the best left backs in the league, and he's 21 years of age, guys. He's 21 years of age. He's brilliant going forward, and he's got 2 goals and 5 assists. I think he can easily double those numbers at Liverpool. He's going to be playing for a better team, a better manager, a better system, and a better setup. And he's going to be playing at Anfield. What player wouldn't want to play at Anfield? But people, we have got 33 people in the building. Let's try and push for 20 likes on quickly as possible. Kirk Wednesday, yeah. Kerkez and Kirk are the best left backs in the Prem. Yep, he's definitely top 2, top 3 left backs in the Premier League. And obviously, when Fabrizio's putting, I bookmarked it. When Fabrizio is literally saying, "Here we go soon," he's basically saying this round of talks is just getting the deal done. Liverpool are going to be paying the money. Liverpool are going to be getting their man, and Bournemouth are going to be getting the money. Because if you actually notice, if you actually do look at some of Bournemouth's transfer rumours, they are linked with a lot of left backs, and they're looking to be bringing in left backs. And that's just saying, like, look, this deal's done. They're looking to already plan to spend that Kerkez money they're going to be getting from the club. So, again, this deal is done. I think, what time is it now? 10 minutes past 1 on a Wednesday. I think I would be shocked if we don't see it Here We Go by tomorrow. With us continuing the talks from a couple of days ago, I think Liverpool, no, this deal is going to be done within the next 48 hours, and hopefully Wirtz can be done as well. Does anyone know when the exact date is this window shuts? This mini window. When does it shut? Is it the 10th or the 13th? When does the transfer window close? World Cup window. So it was shut Tuesday the 10th. So literally next Tuesday. Yeah, 10th of June. 10th of June. Okay. That's fine. I'm going to run a poll, by the way, guys. Okay, because 40 mil. Good value. And are you happy with it? Yes. Yes. But the price will... Let's run that poll on Milos Kerkez. People, we have 34 people in the building. Let's try and get to 20 likes. We're also on the road to we are also on the road to 1.4k with 3 subscribers from 1.32k. So let's hope we can get there in today's stream. Got 40 people in the building. Big up to every single one of you that's liked, that subscribed to the channel over the recent weeks. The support and the growth of the channel's absolutely been mad just of lately. And obviously we continue to bring you that daily content regarding the Reds, and obviously we'll cover off a couple of teams in like videos and stuff, but it is I would say genuinely 80% mainly a Liverpool channel. So yes, so the June the 10th is the window shut, so it's in 6 days. So Liverpool have got basically 6 days. I think how Liverpool will be working is they've sat and thought, look, get Frimpong, Kerkez and Wirtz done by that World Cup window. That's what I feel like they've looked at, and they've probably thought, let's get that done by the 10th. Once we've done the 10th, we can then focus on the outgoings. We can then focus on the incomings. Because I think from the 13th of June is when you're going to see a real business happen. You're going to see other clubs who aren't involved in the World Cup, or they don't want to get players on the Club World Cup. You're going to see them start to spend. So that's when I think the outgoings are going to start to really pour in Anfield. Liverpool are going to be starting to sell their players that they want, and obviously bring in the players that they want. So all confidence around there. What else we got in the chat? Diaz expected to stay at Liverpool and have no interest in selling him. I did see that. We are going to be bringing that up. Kerkez and Wirtz will walk down by the window in July because we will bring in a 9 and a centre back. I think personally the next target for Liverpool will be the 1 second. I think the next target for Liverpool will be the striker. or the left winger. It really does depend, because I think the big outgoing that's probably going to be looking likely that potentially could start to unravel a bit more potentially is Luis Diaz. So I think that's something. Yeah, smash the like. Somebody likes it. So we're on 17, so let's try and push towards 20. And then we're on the road to 30. We won't be a DM. We have Gravenberg and Endo and Stefan. I think it's very unlikely Liverpool really move for a midfielder unless something comes of note or an opportunity like a Florian Wirtz like that signing was. Or potentially an outgoing happens in that area. Other than that, I'll be shocked if Liverpool make a move in that area, to be honest. Yeah, so guys, Kerkez is going to be done. Here we go soon. Confirmed by Fabrizio Romano. So we have got a poll running. So far, 92% are just happy with the signing. And then 8%, yes, but the price little expensive. So I'm just intrigued to see what the people think. Can we buy Kenneth Taylor from Ajax, best player of the year, making the striker cheap? Would be angry LMO. I would like a more proven striker, from being honest. I think that's the vibes that Liverpool are going down. My feeling the 9 could be Pedro. I mean, I hope not, mate. But within the price and stuff, I won't be surprised if, obviously, if Liverpool look at that. Do you know what I mean? I won't be surprised if Liverpool do actually look at that sort of deal. So Robertson, I think Robertson is just going to leave on a free, mate, if I'm being honest. I would be shocked if Robertson gets sold. With the value, injuries, etc. that's coming to the end of his career, I would be shocked if Liverpool sell Andy Robertson. If I'm being honest, I would be shocked if Liverpool decided to sell him. Just due to the fact of, again, his injuries and stuff like that. And there's probably a bit more market value in Quansah Tsimikas, so then therefore we can keep Robertson for that further year. Potentially we can extend his contract if we wanted to. If not, he will leave on a free and he'll probably go to live his dream up at Celtic. Ramos or Isak? Well, Ramos at PSG? Obviously, Alexander Isak, mate. The biggest weakness with Diaz is him delaying the whole lot with the ball sometimes. Often affecting moves of other teammates that would be resulting into wonder goals if good money is offered. I think Liverpool will be I think we sell Diaz. I think Liverpool will be selling Luis Diaz. I can't lie. If Liverpool get offered 70 million plus, Liverpool will be accepting it. That's a very good striker for plays for Wolfsburg. Well, then check him out. I've heard of him, yes. Tsimikas has failed to improve. They won't sell Robertson. Exactly. That's why they're going to sell Andy Quansah Tsimikas, because there's more value in him. Age is more on his side as well. These are things, guys, that you have to take into consideration with these sort of things. Saudi offered 71 mil, but you say Diaz said he is good at Liverpool in an interview in Colombia. We have to put that link in the chat, because I would like to actually hear that potentially. But yeah, people, we've got 43 people in the building. Let's try and keep that road to 50 likes, or one more like for 20 in today's stream. What should we go over? We'll come back to Kerkez, but guys, Fabrizio Romano, if you are joining the stream, Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that Milos Kerkez is going to be a Liverpool player. He's basically confirmed it. They're doing one more round of talks. Again, this deal is going to be upwards of 40 million. Paid in probably. I doubt it's going to be all. It's not going to be all paid in 1 month. It's going to be one big chunk, and then they'll probably spread about 5-10 million across add-ons. That'll be like goals and assists. If he goes on appearances, that'll also be like stuff like if he wins, like I don't know, the Premier League, the Champions League, stuff like that. Those little things that you have in contracts. I expect that that'll be somewhat of what I think the deal will be. But yeah, guys, we do have 50 people in the building. Make sure you are smashing the like button. You are subscribing to the damn channel on that road to 50 likes in today's stream. So let's hope that obviously we can get there. Let's go through some more of the comments. Who's watching Wirtz? I will keep an eye on the game. I will be keeping an eye on that game, mate. If we lose Diaz, then we will be weak in the attack. Diaz has been good on the left-hand side. Yes, he has been good, but I think Liverpool, if Liverpool do get a big chunk of money, I would hope and expect that Liverpool would bring in a replacement, because we know Luis Diaz's numbers this year and how good he can be. Would need ideally replacing at the football club. Yes. So Diaz or Robertson. I mean, one's a left back, one's a left winger. I'll probably most likely keep Robertson, because I don't think Liverpool is too much to do if we're going to need a backup left back. When with Diaz, we can reinvest and bolster that attack up, use that money, because Nunes is the only weak link in the attack. Sell him and keep everyone. So would you keep Diego Jota? at the football club? I think that's an interesting one. I really do. I think that is genuinely an interesting one. I think Liverpool would be willing to sell Jota for a decent price. And I think if Liverpool had was a lot more happy with their attacks, like Chiesa probably not going, and if it was basically down to the point where they wasn't going to change too much their attack, I think they're selling Jota and bringing in someone else. But with that being the case, I think Liverpool may think, look, that could be way too much to do. Do you know what I mean? So that's my reasonings. Deports for me, I would stay. How many years? It also depends on the club. I'm happy and enjoying the Premier League. That's what I've always been happy. So that's what Luis Diaz said. Yeah, but did you not see his Instagram posts that him and his girlfriend put up? Those for me were a bit alarming, in the sense of, I just don't think you put those type of things up on social media with the links to Saudi Arabia as well. Do you know what I mean? I just think it's something you don't really do. Yes, you can show your appreciation, but it was the way it was written and put up on his socials. Do you know what I mean? If Jota stays fit, big. If Wirtz improve Jota. I think with Jota, though, the thing is, what's been concerning for me is when he comes back from injuries, he normally hits the ground running. And this season, when he has been injured and stuff, he's not hit the ground running again. And there's been times where I'm like, oh, that's prime Jota, he's burying it. There's times where he'll just ghost the game. I would genuinely argue from January to March point, it was horrible to watch. And I remember loads of the fan base was like, get Jar off the pitch, like, what we doing, this and that. And I just think, if the right offer comes in, £40 million, I'd sell. He had to keep Jota for one more season. When's the Wirtz? Here we go. You think after the last night's news, it was looking like it's going to be today. I think we get it. I mean, it's hard to say, mate. I could literally go on my phone now and see, boom, here we go. I think I would be shocked if it's not by Friday. But I think we get Kerkez either today or tomorrow. But it's close, yeah. I am worried someone might hijack Kerkez's transfer. I mean, bro, Kerkez is basically done. He wants Liverpool. He is going to be a Liverpool player come the 1st of July and for next season. Edward Kerkez is done, mate. He only wants Liverpool. Yep. Wirtz medical will be tomorrow 100%. I mean, I doubt his medical will be tomorrow and if an agreement was made, because he is literally going to be playing a game of football tonight. I think his medicals, announcements, all that stuff would be next week. Guys, when does the second window open? So we've got this mini window for 10 days. Is it open again on the 16th or the 13th? Which day is it back open again? But people, we've got 60 people in the building. Let's get these likes up to 30 likes. We've got 25 likes. And make sure if you are enjoying the channel, you're smashing that like button. You're smashing the likes. Sharing it with a friend, dog, cat, fish, whoever. And yeah, let's... Kerkez is Liverpool already before Frimpong. Bro, this guy's been flirting with a Liverpool move since January, liking Instagram posts, Twitter posts, bloody everything. We have 7 days, June the 13th. What, June the 13th is when it opens. So it literally closes for 3 days and it's open up again. Are you sure? I'm going to Google this. When does the transfer window open? So it opens on the 1st to 10th. But... oh, so that's when this one's opened on the 10th. And then it's June the 16th until September the 1st. So, yes. What is deadline day, bro? 7 p.m. Okay. But yeah, let's have a look at a couple of things. 16th. Good, bro. I'm good, man. It's not inside my mouth. I'm just talking to it. So yeah, if it's open on the June the 16th, when are we expecting Wirtz to be done? Because his announcement theoretically can't be. Liverpool aren't going to be able to announce the transfer of him until Liverpool aren't going to be able to announce the transfer of him until the window is back open again. We have 6 days to sign. Yeah, I mean, it's not. It's like we can still get a deal done while the window is open. We just can't do any announcements and stuff like that. But I'm confident Liverpool would have reached an agreement within 6 days, if I'm being truly honest. Do you know what I mean? Our back four is the strongest in the league, subs included. Yes, I agree. If I'm being honest, guys, we have 26 likes. Let's push these up to 30. Let's try and push towards 30 likes, guys. Come on. Let's get these likes up. So who would you rather as a striker? Isak, Kerkez, or Ramos? Well, Ramos can fuck off. Obviously, Alexander Isak. Obviously. I think if you're picking flipping Ramos at PSG over Isak, I want to know what bud you're smoking. Do you know what I mean? Because you'd be smoking some sort of bud. The fact that you'd want him over what's his name? So Let me have a look. Oh, a couple of things here. Yeah, guys, let's keep getting these likes up. LFC is avoiding players told taking pics with Nike. Frimpong gave interview in Nike. Yeah, he did. He did. But we are going to be opening the lines if anyone wants to join and give an opinion. We will be posting that. So click the link if you want to join. People, let's get these likes up, guys. Come on, we're on 31 likes. Road to 50 likes in today's stream. What was I going to do? I was going to check something. 1 minute, beeps. There we go. So yeah, if you want to join, click the link. Let's go through some of these comments. I mean, not really, because they literally interviewed Jeremy Frimpong in a Liverpool kit. Yeah, he gave him in a Liverpool kit. We have the best keeper in the world, best defense in the world, best midfield in the world. All we need now is a striker. 21 incoming. I think I'm not going to start thinking about winning the league until the window's officially shut. Because you never know what other clubs can do. Because we could even add some more business. And we might start thinking to look at the Champions League, etc. Do you know what I mean? So, did we win it? Wait, did we win last year of NB and night deals? I have no idea what you mean. I prefer Isaac, but won't come cheap. Facts. Frimpong is the sponsor of the New Balance. Didn't do it in Nike. He literally did. He did take a picture. The Wirtz stuff, I mean, I still think he'll do in a Nike kit. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yes, he is a New Balance guy. Yes, I know he is a New Balance guy because I've seen him on his Instagram. But what I'm trying to say is he did it in a Nike kit. Because I remember there was someone literally just said he didn't do anything in Nike kits. He literally did. Frimpong, LFC, media. Let's whip up an image of him in an actual Liverpool kit, yeah? As you can see, yeah. As you can see, like, there was nothing else we can do. So the Florian Wirtz, I still expect him to be in the Nike kit. I don't think it's going to be anything different. It's just going to have to be a part of his contract. Yeah, let's pin that message as well. See if anyone else wants to jump on, guys. 2 more likes for 35. Let's keep them ticking and pushing. What's we got? Sorry, let me. Big up to JP, who's joined. Let me sort this out for you, bro. What are you saying, bro?
What's up, bro? I'm good. Can't complain. Yourself?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Are you happy?
Yeah, I got, I heard you saying just now, you're not going to say we get in 21 right away because you're waiting until the transfer window open. And I agree with that. However, the type of moves that we're making to add to the squad that we already have is scary for rival fans. And it will give us a high, nothing is ever certain, but it will give us a high percentage chance of winning major trophies, right? So we can't say for certain 21 incoming, we're going to get next Champions League. But what we could say is that with the moves that we're making and the players that we bring in, we're going to have a very good chance of getting major trophies. So, real proud and happy to be a Liverpool fan right now.
Yeah, mate. I mean, look, the only position that would make me sit here and think I would genuinely bet anyone that Liverpool will win in the league is if we go and sign a caliber of player of a Gyökeres or
Mm-hmm.
an elite level striker.
Striker.
If we go and get that, I find it very hard to see anyone beating us to the title while
Mm-hmm.
adding in not only the team, but in the improvements into the team. Arne Slot's going to get better as a manager. I think he's going to improve his tactics towards next season. It's an exciting time, man. It really
Yeah.
is an exciting time. When have we ever felt this excitement? Not only back off a season, going into another season, and the transfer window. Three things all in one. When
Mm-hmm.
have we ever had that as Liverpool
Yeah.
fans? Like we've never had that, and I've seen people. I get why people are. I won't say being negative, but a lot of people are concerned. Oh, once we've done all these business, that's it. I don't think Liverpool are stopping.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying we're going to go and sign 10, 20 players. Like we're not doing Forest from 2, 3 years ago. But I do think Liverpool are going to be bringing in so let's say the three we got now. So Kerkez, Wirtz, and Frimpong.
Mm-hmm.
I can bet anyone that we bring in at least two more names.
Two more, yeah. Like five
Two,
players at least. Yeah.
two more. I think either a forward slash winger and a
Mm-hmm.
centre back, depending if Jarrell Quansah leaves the football club.
Right.
Do
Yeah,
you? Sorry, go on, bro.
yeah, I would agree with that because a lot of people it's just speculation right now who will be the outgoings and that kind of stuff and thing. But for me, I think Slot has already assessed his squad. He knows who he wants to keep and he knows who he wants to get rid of, and is just trying to see how we can manage the new incomings now to mold the squad even better, right? So if Quansah leaves, I'm not seeing Gomez leaving this season. If Quansah leaves, and then we'll have to bring in another striker. So then we have Gomez to cover the right back position, left back, and he can also play centre back, right? So you have a versatile person who could play. So I think Slot sees Gomez more valuable than Quansah. Quansah could play right back and stopper, but he's not that good at the right back position. It's just a stopgap. He will play there for the while. And yeah, I think after getting the three big ones like Kerkez, Frimpong already there, and Wirtz, you just look to see what strikers available on the market and try to see what we could do going forward. I don't see us paying 100 million for Etitike after we get the Wirtz deal over the line. So I think the forward that we will get is maybe not one we Liverpool fans would want or think that we need, but at the end of the day, whatever striker we bring in this system, once the striker has confidence and the striker is on it, he will do well. So I'm not any striker that comes into this type of system will get chances to score goals. It's up to that striker to take it, right? So once the striker comes with confidence, the striker will do well, right? Because remember, we have new incomings coming. Wirtz is a quality player. He will be able to free up space and tread in balls for the striker. So they will get chances, all right? So any striker that we get right now will get chances. So I'm confident we don't really need to go out and get that marquee big striker like Isaac or Alvarez and think this window, because any striker that comes in now, because we have Salah there already, because we have Gakpo, and now we had added Wirtz, we could cope going through with the season. So
Yeah, I think you mentioned some good points. I'm not concerned about the striker point, like you mentioned with STK. We're not going to pay the money. I'm not concerned. I think Liverpool look at it as in potentially two ways. That maybe a big reason why they spent the money on Florian Wirtz is one, because obviously the fan obviously they want him at the football club. And another reason, I just think maybe they just don't really fancy the striker market as much. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, I think you look at the names Sesko, STK, Delap, it's kind of really Isaac Alvarez, a Jokeres type of player. And the two of them, they're not going to be leaving their respective clubs. I
Right.
think I've got a weird feeling we might try for Victor Jokeres, though. Because you think about it, right? He wants to come to the Premier League. Arsenal is getting Benjamin Sesko. Chelsea, STK, and Liam Delap. He's not going to go to fucking Spurs, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of us or United. And you look at Liverpool, you're thinking they've just won the Premier League. They could be playing Champions League football. They're in a better position. Look at the players that is going to be playing around me. Mohamed Salah, Florian Wirtz, then the whole midfield behind me as well. This team is perfectly set up for a ready-made striker right now. We go and get a ready-made striker, we win the league again next season.
Yeah.
Even if Jokeres can do 40% of his numbers that he's done this season, that is still a good goal return.
Yeah.
To help out
Yeah.
Mohamed Salah, to help out other players when they're going through forms and stuff like that, because we can't rely on Mohamed Salah to do what he did the season just gone to do it again. He is
Yeah.
getting older, etc., etc. So it's about releasing that pressure. I think Florian Wirtz is definitely going to do that. I've said it for the longest time that Florian Wirtz is the Salah replacement in the sense of not position wise, but in terms of what they do on a football pitch. You look at Manchester City, their best player was in Kevin De Bruyne in that area. Your best player doesn't always have to be the position you're replacing your previously best player
Yes.
in.
Yeah. Correct.
So, for example, we all knew Steven Gerrard was the best player in the Liverpool team at many times. They didn't go and try and get a Steven Gerrard replacement. They tried
Placement.
to
Yeah.
go and get a better player, but in a different position, if that kind of makes sense. In the sense of, we don't need to replace Mohamed Salah in his position. We can go and get another Mohamed Salah, but in a different position. That's why I think Florian Wirtz is slowly but gradually going to help us do that. And I'm not worried about him not hitting the ground running, because I saw a couple of guys on TikTok saying, so are Liverpool fans nervous about him not hitting the ground running? I'm like, no, because in my theory, in my head, is you look at most Premier League flops in recent times, they've come from Chelsea, they've come from Man United, and look at the environments. Look at what's going on at those football clubs inside the stadiums. That's why it's very rarely we flop at transfers, because the
Yeah.
environment and the structure at the football club is well run. You know what I mean? That's why I'm
Yeah.
not concerned. Are you worried that if we sell an attacker, let's say we sell Darwin Núñez and Luis Diaz, do you think we'll go and get a left wing?
Yeah, I think the reason why Arsenal going for Sesko instead of Joy Perez is due to age, right? I think Joy Perez I think he'll be 28 this year, and Sesko is 22, right? So it's better to take a risk on a younger player so that you have a project to build to. But that's why, for me personally, I think Jokeres will be the perfect fit for us, because remember, he's coming into his prime, right? So 28 in a team that just needs, as you said there, goal contributions to help Salah, he will be able to do that. So it's not really much pressure on the striker to get that amount of goals, because we're already playing through Salah. So we just need a striker who could assist, like how Gakpo and Diaz assist this season. So if we lose Núñez, and well, I think we will lose Núñez. If we lose Diaz as well, then I believe that we have to go in again to get a kind of replacement for the left wing, because Gakpo wouldn't be able to do it on his own. I think the beautiful thing with Liverpool this season is that we had two quality left wingers who helped to assist Salah in the distribution of goals and assists this season. and both of them played a vital role, right? If we lose one of them, then we depending on Gakpo alone to do the work, and I don't think that will work for us, all right? Because Gakpo still has to come into his own a little bit too, because he's still young and he's learning his craft. So I do believe if we lose Diaz, we will get another left winger. But once Nunes goes, then I could see where the Joker is making sense, because he will be the perfect fit for us. And all he needs to do is just, as you said there, even if he could give us 40% goal contributions, that will be good. All right. Because remember, this season, I believe Slot is going to use Salah a little more differently, making him be more inside and not having to come back more. That's why we get Frimpong. So Frimpong will be the one do the energy work and the tracking back um, on the right side. So we could give Salah a little break to just stay on top, to just do his magic and score goals and get assists up on the top that way, right? And for your point where you said Wirtz, rival fans saying Wirtz might be a flop, it's very difficult for Wirtz to be a flop coming into the Premier League right now, because you're adding to a quality squad. And when you add to a quality squad, it's very difficult for a player like Wirtz not to shine. So what I mean by that is, when we started to drop our performances this season, it was because teams knew that we just need to mark out Salah and double team on Salah, and then Liverpool production will go down. And they were correct, because Szoboszlai and the midfield wasn't really chipping in with goals. Now that we have Wirtz there, a team cannot now go and double team Salah, because then Wirtz will be the pivot point and he will be able to create, right? So if you give a player like Wirtz space, he will do magic. If you want to double team Wirtz, then we have Salah there who can do magic now. So Wirtz coming into this side will just add to the quality, and his quality will shine, because he's a player. Once you have other stars around him, he will flourish. And remember, Liverpool is building that kind of dynasty now.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm not concerned one bit. And I think with Florian Wirtz is, when I look at him and I watch him play, he's got the right mentality and the right mindset. And he seems very family oriented in the sense of he takes his family's opinion seriously. And I feel like his family knew that this was the right fit for Liverpool, right fit for him to come to Liverpool rather than Bayern Munich. If he wants to, in let's say 7-8 years' time, you can go to a Bayern Munich or Real Madrid. He's 22 years of age. And I feel like he wants to challenge himself, because not many German players come into the Premier League and set the world alight at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
And he's one of the best players in the world in his position. I am very confident, and I have full belief not only in Florian Wirtz himself, but in managing the team to nurture him and collectively get him right into this team. I think he's going to have multiple roles to be playing. So he's going to have a lot of work to do. And I think he's going to absolutely flourish under the idea of playing at Anfield, playing in a European night. And he's already experienced that when we played Bayer Leverkusen early in the season in the Champions League. So in terms of Wirtz coming to the Premier League, I'm not too concerned. At all. The price doesn't really bother me. A lot of players, when they see a big price tag, yes, I get some players do flop under the pressure, but a lot of players take it with an absolute strive. And I think, after a couple of weeks and months, you're going to see the absolute beast and the animal that he is, because he is. We don't very rarely, guys, buy a player in this position that is near enough best in the world. Take him, Musiala, take your pick, whoever, right? That's up to you to decide. But he's definitely top 2, 3. And he's coming into a team that's just won the league. He's playing with the best on the back in the world. One of the young best left backs in the Premier League that's going to come to Liverpool, and Milos Kerkez. He's going to be playing with Mohamed Salah, Luis Diaz potentially, McAllister, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch. And you know what? There's no reason why I shouldn't believe in this team. When Virgil van Dijk signed that contract, He said in an interview, "I'm excited for the summer," and my God, he means he was excited for the summer. It wasn't no gimmick or PR interview. We very rarely we've seen managers and players come out and say, "I'm excited for the summer." Not at the times it could have been PR. They're just genuinely all around and excited. But we're now seeing what they truly meant. We're signing a world-class, young, elite wonder kid in Florian Wirtz. This guy is the face of Adidas, the face of German football, alongside with obviously Jamal Musiala as well. And he wants to come to the Premier League and challenge himself at Liverpool Football Club.
Yeah, and
If I'm not
that's
concerned.
I you made a lot of good points there. And I think the reason why Liverpool doing that now is because we know we have 2 more years of where we could dominate the world of football before Salah and Van Dijk leaves. And when that happens, then you have to kind of do a small rebuild. So if you get the quality players in like Wirtz and stuff in now, and they have 2 years under their belts in the Premier League, when Salah and Van Dijk leaves, the transition is a lot more smoother because they will be taking over the mantle as the focal point, and then you add in players so that we're not looking for a salary replacement. We're just looking for somebody to help Wirtz, right? Because as you said earlier, Wirtz will be the new player that we're going to play through now, and he will be the one that is going to take over from Salah. He's not a left wing, so he's a center attacking midfielder. So one new talisman in the future will be Wirtz, right? So when Salah leaves, we just need somebody to come in so that they could help Wirtz be the new talents one now. And even McAllister, if he's still there, all right, because I just see McAllister going to different heights, especially with Wirtz coming in to this midfield. And my only worry for McAllister is that I know the Argentina players, their love is for Spanish football. All right. So my worry right now is if McAllister wins a lot at Liverpool, he might want to go and play for like a Barcelona or Real Madrid, because remember in Argentina, their dream is to play for the big Spanish clubs, right? So I'm just hoping that we could keep him around, pay him what he needs, and him, Wirtz, and Gravenberch for over a couple of years will be a very good midfield to deal with. So it's very good to be a Liverpool fan right now. We have, just like you said, Van Dijk is excited as well. So we should be excited too, because I am expecting once we do good business this transfer window, we will be challenging in the Champions League, stronger to say, and we will be there and about to win the league again. So very exciting times.
Yeah, man, it is very exciting times. Big up to everyone in the chat who is liking the stream. Make sure you are subscribing to the channel as well on that road to 1.4K subs. I've got an interesting question. Would you? A lot of talk has been around Luis Diaz, Darwin Núñez. What would you say the likelihood is that we go and get out and out replacements? Breaking news: David Ornstein apparently.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna check now. Apparently,
Check it out.
breaking
Yeah.
news. Apparently, we got a bomber. We got a bomber, guys. David Ornstein. Do you see anything on Twitter regarding David Ornstein?
I'm not seen anything yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I think people are just trolling in the chat. Yeah. Yeah. What a shock there. Yeah, there's no David Ornstein bomber, guys. As you know, as we wished. But I wanted to get your thoughts, JP, on Milos Kerkez as an overall signing. Happy with the price? Happy with the player? And overall thoughts?
Yeah, the price is reasonable. Because transfer market is so much unpredictable right now. And remember, he's one of Bournemouth's best players this season. So you would add on that tax for taking one of their best players. I think what happened with a lot of people is that they see similarities to Robertson. And I think we got Robinson for like a bargain. It was how we got Robinson for what, like 9 million? It wasn't 9 million. I
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
recall.
about 8-9 million. Yeah,
Yeah, right. And look at what Robinson has done. And Kerkez is way when Robertson came in, he was nowhere near the likes of Kerkez and the talk that he was getting. We were that Kerkez has surrounded him as being a good left back. So I mean, 40 million in this market. Some people might say that's too expensive, but for me, we get in a quality, proven Premier League left back who is going to flourish even more in our system. So I'm happy with it. I'm just excited to see him play because I've been watching him for the entire season. He has been on my fantasy Premier League team for a lot of the season as well. So it's just he transitioning next year just as a Liverpool left back now, right? But yeah, I really excited, and what is getting me more excited is because Frimpong is on the other side as well. So if you I'm not saying I hear a lot of people saying Slot trying to copy what they do at PSG, but I do think it's a copying of what they're trying to do at PSG. Is just Slot style of play as well, right? And you see the dominance that's having two exciting, energetic wing backs and the type of midfield that you have could do and stifle teams. So very excited for Kerkez and Frimpong being on the wings, and it's going to be a very good season to see those guys transition well into Liverpool and do well.
I think Kerkez is going to be a brilliant signing. I know people are talking about Wirtz and stuff like that, rightly so. But I feel like Kerkez isn't getting as enough hype as it probably should. You know, would you
Yeah,
agree?
yeah, no,
Like,
no,
I think it's an absolutely brilliant piece of business from
yeah,
Liverpool.
yeah,
Manchester City was interested,
mm-hmm,
you know, and this guy is going to come in. He's 21 years of age. He's got decent stats as a fullback, and he has got similarities to Andy Robertson.
mm-hmm,
And when I look at him, I think he's going to be an absolute fantastic signing that we're going to look back on in a couple of years, and that was just a brilliant piece of business again. I'm not really concerned about the price because we are looking at one of Bournemouth's best players this season,
mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
rightly so. They're going to want decent money for him.
Yep,
Like, what are we really expecting?
mm-hmm,
To be paying 20 million?
yeah,
Now, the only player that would somewhat come to mind in us paying that sort of fee would be someone like an Nori, but obviously he's going to be going to Manchester City. I just think this is absolutely brilliant piece of business. The way he's good going forward, I actually think he's okay defensively.
yeah,
And the
yeah.
thing is, would you say, are you concerned about our fullbacks next season? Because we know we are going to have new, fresh, energetic, fast tempo fullbacks. For me, I'm not concerned because I know the Gravenbergs, the McAllisters, etc. of this world will be able to cover that acres of space when they
Mm-hmm,
do
mm-hmm,
go forward. That Arnie
mm-hmm.
Slot is going to have a plan. It's
Yeah,
like people think Arnie Slot is literally just buying fast, energetic fullbacks, gun ho, and yeah, there's no game plan at the back.
yeah,
Like, come on.
yeah. What I try to show people is that look at Kyle Walker as an example. Kyle Walker, a lot of people would say he's not the best defensively in terms of one-on-one defending and that kind of stuff and thing, but he's literally one of the best defenders in the world. Why? Because people can't pass him, right? So he's not good defensively, but still players try to challenge him and they can't pass him, and that's due to his speed. So if you look how we play and Slot's plan is that we have two quality centre backs who could stall and are able to defend in a way where Frimpong and Kerkez could recover to help with the defense. And that's why I'm excited, because they have the pace and the power to go up in the attack and recover as well because of their speed. And that is the key to defending. Defending is being there all the time to put out fires in the back. So just look at Robertson in the past. He was one of our best defenders we had over the years. And he was just like Kerkez, bombing up and down the wing. So it's going to be similar with Kerkez and Frimpong. And as you said, we have even extra cover with the likes of McAllister and Gravenberch and even Szoboszlai, because I see Szoboszlai playing a little deeper this season in certain games, and, to just give the midfield a little rotation. So Wirtz could play in a 10, Szoboszlai and Gravenberch, or you have McAllister, Gravenberch and Wirtz, or you could give Wirtz a rest and you have Szoboszlai. All right, so I see that rotation there, and they will be able to cover as well the wing back. So I agree with you. Slot will have his plan, and he's getting better as a manager, and it is very exciting to have those wing backs going up and down. And a lot of people questioning the defensive ability of these defenders, but if you look at their defending clips, not much players pass them, right? Not much players get past them. The only reason why they struggle defensively is because of their high attacking work rate, and they don't have the cover in their squads as they would previously. But if you look at their defensive ability alone, not much players go past them and dribble past them because they have the pace and the power. So good wing backs, in my opinion, that fit our system good.
Exactly, man. And the thing is, like this comment here from Sam, he's going to be learning from Andy Robertson, one of the best left backs in the Premier League over the past couple of decades. So he's not only that, he's going to be learning from Andy Robertson, and gradually he's going to get better and better. And I'm just really excited, because for me, the one area on the pitch last season, I think we can all agree, was the left back area when Robertson was constantly looked. I think throughout the duration of the season, he slightly got a bit better, but there was large parts of last season where he was awful defensively. And the thing is, the one thing with Robertson, he's always had that good going forward. I think he ended the season on 1 assist. And for me, yes, I know numbers isn't everything, but from what Robertson used to be known for, the assists from that left back area, creating constant chances, getting the crosses into the box, creating chances. With that also dying down from an attacking standpoint of view as well, I just look at it and think, obviously now it was the right time to improve on that left back area. He's got 1 year left on his contract. I think what's going to happen is he's going to see out his contract. He will go to Celtic on a free, and then next year we'll probably bring in that left back, that backup left back to Milos Kerkez, like we did with Kostas Tsimikas. Probably someone a bit more cheaper, just all around. That'll just be a good come in, and obviously that will do the job as well. So I'm not too concerned about that. However, there's been a bit of news that Bournemouth reached an agreement on personal terms. Left back Andrew Turfert, 23-year-old, who's set to replace Liverpool bound Milos Kerkez. This has literally just come in. Mm-hmm. So now you're going to see Kerkez is on his way. He's going to be the Liverpool player in the next, either today or either tomorrow. I'm really excited, man. Do you think Robertson will be an okay as backup? Would you?
Yeah, I prefer Roberts. The criticism I had with Robertson this season is that, when the legs go in, you tend to make more mistakes, and then the confidence goes. And I think he lost confidence this year because he couldn't do the things that he would have be able to do when he had his legs. And because he it's like, because he going into a season where he knows that if somebody pass him, he won't be able to do what he normally does to recover and get back the ball. it used to play on his confidence, and that is where we saw the little quality drop from him because of he knowing that he's losing his legs and he's getting older. But for me, there were enough in the season where I saw him when, especially when he got rest for Timikas coming in, where he came back in and he did well. So if he could come into certain games and he's getting a good amount of rest, I could trust him more than I would do Timikas, right? Because I Robertson played the majority of the season for us, and he did do some contributions. I think some Liverpool fans were just criticizing him a lot, even when he played well in certain games. Right, even when he played well in certain games, they were criticizing him, and he didn't even do mistakes in those games. And I think he was kind of like the scapegoat for our defense this season because of the extra mistakes he would have not normally made in the past. And that's why a lot of players, a lot of Liverpool fans, sorry, wanted to replace him. But for me, I have seen enough from him. And remember, Robertson brings that kind of experience to help a Kerkez get better as well. And it's not only on the pitches, what you could bring off the pitch as well, in the training sessions, in the dressing room, in your personal lives to help a player grow as well. And I think Robertson energy is needed in the camp to keep that kind of champion mentality going so that the players who come in could learn from him. So I would be good with Robertson as a backup. I would even go as far as to say extend his contract even one more year, so that he could leave the same time with Salah and Van Dijk, right? So that we could have that championship mentality in the squad, so that our young players could grow and stuff and go forward. Because you always need that experienced head in the dressing room to help players settle down and calm. So I prefer and I want to keep Robertson as a left back. I just have a question for you, just hypothetically, in terms of why I'm not disagreeing with the price for Kerkez, right? So in the next 2 years, a big club is coming in for Kerkez in the next 2 years. How much Liverpool will be selling him for? Next 2 years.
What if someone tried to come in for
Yeah,
Kerkez?
a big club. So a big, let's say Barcelona or Real Madrid coming in for Kerkez. They want a left back and they're coming in for Kerkez. How much you selling him for?
Kerkez is one of those. Kerkez will be like a Robertson. His value jumps easily 80 to 90 million.
Yep. And that's the reason why the price is not a problem for me, because in the next 2 years he's going to be one of the highly sorted left backs in the world, right? So so it's a done deal there, right? So I'm very excited for both wing backs, and I can't wait to I want to see preseason right away. I want to see these guys put on the Liverpool shirt and start to do business as usual.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to bring back your point that you did actually mention about Alexis McAllister. I'm not worried one bit about McAllister leaving the club. He's got 3 years left on his contract. I get he's a lot of Argentinians do have the mentality of playing for an Atleti, a Barcelona, a Real Madrid, rightly so, understandable. But McAllister looks really settled, really happy at the football club. And he said in many interviews he wants to keep winning trophies at Liverpool. He's come in his 2 seasons, he's won a trophy in both seasons, the Cup, and he's won the league. And I feel like now he's got that mentality where he wants to stay at Liverpool and continue his trophy growth. Like he said, next season, I've won the World Cup, I've won the league, I've won the Carabao Cup, I've won everything with my country. I want to do it all with England. In that sense of, so he's completed everything on an international point. He wants to do club trophies now. He wants to go and win that Champions League, because if he goes and wins the Champions League and continues his form over the next couple of years, he's going to be remembered as a great midfielder.
Yeah, and that's
winning the World Cup, because he was massively instrumental in that.
Yeah.
And if he keeps his form up, he's
Yeah.
been a brilliant midfielder, not only for Liverpool, but he was brilliant
Mhm.
for Brighton in a couple of seasons as well.
Yeah.
So I'm not concerned about Maka leaving.
Yeah. No,
And
I
I think
just
he'll be a bit rich if I was to say, because I've got McAllister on the back of this shirt
yeah.
right now. So I can't be saying, yo, McAllister's going to leave because,
No, I
yeah,
know, I
yeah.
know. You see why? The reason why I'm saying that is because I predict that in the next 2 to 3 years, McAllister will be one of the best midfielders in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He
I
will be
think he's
one.
already up there. I think he's the
Yeah,
best.
I think he's up there already, but like a lot of people still have doubts. So you'll see people say, no, well, not yet. He getting there. And I think he's a world-class player, but I think in the next 2 to 3 years, you see, like how we said, how in the past people will identify Modric, Cruz, and he will be in that sort of ilk and that kind of player, and that is where I will get worried because when you have the best midfielder in the world, the top clubs like Real Madrid and Barcelona would want to get them. And I just have in the back of my mind that the Argentina players, they relish playing for the big Spanish clubs. And if it is you win everything in Liverpool, you could say, well, I've given my service for Liverpool, I won everything. Let me see what it's like to take, right? I would love to keep him. I would love to have him in my midfield as a Steven Gerrard for the legacy of Liverpool. But I just, I have that in the back of my mind that he's going to be one of the best midfielders in the world in a couple of years. And when that usually happens, the big teams throw money at clubs to get their guy, right? So I'm not questioning McAllister's loyalty. I'm questioning the big teams throwing a lot of money at Liverpool. So let's say in the next couple of years, Real Madrid or Barcelona throw in 150 million for McAllister, right? You think
Mm-hmm.
Liverpool putting down that?
Wait, say that again. What was that last point you said about
Let's
McAllister?
let's say in the next 2 to 3 years, one of the big clubs going like a 150, they break in the transfer record fee for McAllister, right? 150, 160, 170 for McAllister. You think Liverpool turning that down?
Um,
This is breaking the transfer fee ever. Most expensive player ever to date. You think we
I
turning
don't
that
think
down?
I don't think we sell McAllister. I think he'll sign a new contract. I do, man. I've got to
No, no,
back my boy. He's on the back. Yeah, he's on the
yeah,
back of this one.
no, I just saying because what
He's my
I
favourite
just
Liverpool. I'll honestly argue McAllister. He's probably my favourite Liverpool player.
yeah, mine too, no, mine too.
And I'm not going to start saying, he's going to leave
Yeah,
because,
I don't
my
want him to
luck, I'll
leave. I
probably
have the best
I'll end
midfielder
up
in the world.
jinxing it and he'll actually leave. I think I look at McAllister. How old is Alexis now?
I think he's 25, I believe.
McAllister's 26.
26, 26.
So McAllister still got a good 5 years
Yes, yep.
at this level.
Mm-hmm.
And if he gets to the point where McAllister wins everything with Liverpool, he might think, look, I've won everything with Liverpool. I conquered the biggest league in the world. I won everything from an international standpoint of view. Do I top off my career by playing for a Barcelona or Real Madrid? That might catch his eye. But he looks like he loves the club. He wants to be a hero of the club. And he wants to win that Champions League. Because I've seen a lot of interviews saying he wants that flipping Champions League. Because if you think about it, he's won the 4 big trophies in world football. The Copa
Yeah,
America. He's won the
World
World
Cup.
Cup, the Premier League, and the Champions League. He would have effectively completed
Yeah, they said.
football from a
Yeah,
trophy winning standpoint of view.
yeah,
I just think with Maka, I can't believe we've gone for 35 million. Jesus.
yep, yeah.
35 bloody million.
That's what I'm
That is
saying.
what you call homework. Like,
In two
the
years'
thing
time,
is,
McAllister will be 100 million plus.
the thing is with his release clause, it wasn't even like a known release clause. It was Liverpool just doing their homework around Maka. Um, and the thing is with Maka is he's getting better. He's getting better. I think for me, you take away Salah and Virgil, I think he's up there for Liverpool's player of the season. I really do. Like Maka over the course of the season, his consistency. I think his numbers are actually starting to improve. Um, he's our by far our best midfielder in my opinion. I know people say Gravenberch, so Bosley's had a good season. Nah, Maka's been our best midfielder, man, over the past 2 seasons.
I think why
And
people say Gravenberch is because the improvement that he made. But McAllister, hands on, was the best midfielder for us this season. Hands on.
uh, do you think here's a question by Alfie with the I think that's something I would like Liverpool to try and do. You look at our lifetimes. Man City got the 100 points. United and City trebles. Arsenal invincibles. This is Liverpool's time to go and win back to back. To go and win a Premier League and a Champions League.
Yeah.
For us to finish 82 points with this team
Mm-hmm.
in spots this season, while adding in Frimpong and Kerkez and Wirtz, for me, that already improves automatically, right? Adding on to the fact of, I don't think the last 4 or 5 games is a real concern because I don't think Liverpool drop points if they're in a title race at that standpoint of view. Do you really think Liverpool dropping points to Palace at home if they're in a title race and if it's a must-win game? We saw what Liverpool were like in the must-win games. In the space of 10 games, we had to play Real Madrid, Leverkusen, Chelsea, Villa, City, Arsenal, Newcastle, all within that 10-game spin run. We got over the line. And next season, I do think it's going to be obviously a lot tougher. Me personally, I think it's between us and Manchester City for the title. I really do. I'm not overlooking Arsenal. I'm not saying Arsenal don't have a chance, but Manchester City for me, they're doing the correct business. They're obviously going to be having Rodri back. I think Phil Foden and players like that, they're not going to be performing as badly as last season. And I think it's going to be between us and Manchester City. I think if we go and add that killer striker, that clears us really do for the favourites. And I really do think it'll put a massive improvement in us to try and win that Champions League. You look at Paris Saint-Germain, they're the team to beat next season. They're going to get better with young proper players, right? I'm looking at other teams across Europe. I think Barcelona are going to be better. Real Madrid
will be better.
I think Real Madrid will be better. I don't think they haven't won a trophy this season. I know they did win the Super Cup. It's gonna be interesting to see how they do under Alonso. So I thought for me, there's only 2 teams I'm looking at next season at the Champions League. I'm like Liverpool should be winning it. For me, Premier League over the Champions League again because I want that chance of back to back, and I want if we win, it's 21 times we have the most league titles in England. It is already shaping up to be an absolute classic of a season with just the transfers that's going to be brought in. Quick question. So far, based off the businesses, who are you looking at for next season if Liverpool do conclude and get all the business of the line that they are rightly sure to do? Is Manchester City the team for you to beat? Is it Arsenal?
I would agree with Man City, just solely for the fact that they were previous champions in the last 4 seasons, and they would want to rectify having a bad season, right? I would still put us as slight favorites because we added on to a title-winning squad rather than we lost players and then bring in quality players, right? So I was having a discussion as to why I don't think Arsenal will be able to challenge and win a league. And it's because one, they have Arteta as the manager, and two, it is very difficult for the London teams to win the league. Why I'm saying that is because they have a lot of derbies to play during the season. So a lot of people were confused why Arsenal lost to West Ham 1-0 at home this season. And I told them, why you confused? That is a derby. It's like a derby they're playing. Remember, it's a London club coming there, and it's going to be a difficult game. They have Fulham to play, they have West Ham, they have Spurs, they have Chelsea. So they have a lot of hard games to play, and that will be their downfall for them next season to go and win the league. All right. I think Man City getting their players back, as you said, all the points that you just raised there is going to be good reasons for Man City to challenge Liverpool this season. But I think once we continue to do the business and stuff, and that's why as you said there, if we get the striker that we need, because I believe that we need a little plan B as well. Especially when you're coming down late into the season and everybody playing a low block. You need a big, strong, powerful striker who could just be direct and get your goals in the middle, right? So if we get the striker, you'll be correct, outright favorite. But I still think we dare to be favorites over City for the fact that we just add to the quality of winning the league this season.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's Manchester City. I'm looking at Arsenal now. I know we've got months ahead in the transfer window, but for me, they're already looking not really serious. This is a team that needs to rectify the mistake that they made last season, and with the players that have been linked with, like your Benjamin Sesko's, it's like, yeah, I'm not too sure about Arsenal. However, one thing I did want to bring up that was tweeted 2 hours ago from Paul Joyce. Liverpool are not looking to sell Luis Diaz despite Saudi speculation. Liverpool are understood to be perplexed by the noise once again surrounding Diaz. And also he did follow up by that Liverpool are not even really looked to renewing his contract. For me, 2 years left on his contract, I'm like, you're potentially going to be offered 70 million. I would be shocked if Saudi came in and said Liverpool is 70 million for Diaz, and Liverpool said no. Just quickly, bro, while I go to toilet, because I'll put my AirPods in. Are you selling Luis Diaz for 70 million?
It depends on the replacement. If we could get a replacement, as much as I appreciate and love Diaz, I would sell him. But if we not getting any quality players coming in, then no, I have to keep him, right? Because as I said before, he was an integral part of us winning the Premier League this season. What him and Gakpo did on the left side for us this season, sharing the responsibilities, chipping in with goals, and even Diaz was even played false nine, so he was even added a new position to his inventory, his repertoire this season as well. So I believe Diaz, unless we get a good replacement or a quality replacement. So as off the top of my head, I would say unless we get like a Anthony Gordon or Nico Williams, I keep in Diaz. I'm not selling Diaz and bringing in somebody of lower quality. The reason why I said Gordon and Nico is because I believe on the slot they will be able to flourish. Right, they're young and they will be able to take guidance, and they'll be able and they're good pacey players as well, so they'll be able to flourish. But unless we replace Diaz with another left wing who could come in and chip in to help Gakpo, I'm not selling him, even for thing. Unless you want to break our record, you go give me 100 and something million. All right, well, fine then. That's the exception. But I think what we planning to do next season, we will need a player like Diaz in our ranks to get over the line for some major trophies. And if we sell him and don't replace him, it will be even more difficult for us to do that.
For me, it's a really sticky one with Lucho. For the price, I am selling him for the price. More due to the fact of, not because I don't think he's a bad player or his numbers, right? I think he's had really good numbers: 13 goals, 5 assists in the league this season, goal in the cup, 3 goals in the Champions League. I think he's third in terms of our highest goal output, especially as a forward liner and a winger. For me, he's had a very good season. For me, are we going to get this level of output from Lucho again? You look, is by far his best season at the club. The season before that, it's half of his numbers. Then it's half of it again. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, it's a really, really difficult situation with him in terms of what we do. For the price, I think Liverpool probably sell. They look at it and think, look, he's had a very good year at Liverpool. Can we rely on him to produce those numbers again? Can we rely on him to produce the same output with his age? I don't know his age has got anything to do with it, with 2 years left on his contract. Because if he doesn't, we're not getting upwards of 75 million again next year for a player
Yeah, I
that's 1 year
understand.
left on his contract.
Mm-hmm,
Obviously, if he doesn't respectfully sign his contract.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I see it from that standpoint. The only thing where I would slightly disagree with you there is that with the quality that we're bringing in, I think his form will stay the same. He will produce similar numbers next season with the quality that we're bringing in, right? But as you said there, everything you said there in terms of you might not want to take that risk for him, because if we don't get the 70 million this season, there's a possibility that we won't get it ever again, right? So you try to get in, you try to cash in now when he's in the form of his life, he's in his prime, right? But for me, as I said before, I believe with somebody like Wirtz coming in, Kerkez coming in to help him as well, he's going to get similar numbers or even perform even better, because remember, Diaz is a player. Once he has space to play, he will work wonders, right? He only struggles when he's double teamed and he doesn't have space to play. And with Wirtz, Kerkez, Salah, and we have all these players around, he will get space to shine and do what he needs to do for the team. So I would say if we get any money for him and we replacing him with a quality winger, I would also sell, because he's a good player, and if we get quality players coming in like a Gordon or a Nico Williams, I would say, well, all right, they will also flourish as well. But I don't want to sell Diaz and then we don't replace him with somebody similar, and then we struggle going forward for the season, because remember, you're taking away a crucial part of what made us win the league and compete for the league this season. If you don't replace that, then you're counting on Gakpo and others to get his numbers. And I don't think Gakpo is at that level yet to get the double numbers like what Salah is getting over the course of a season. I think Gakpo needs like about 2 more years in order for that to solidify himself as the top left wing in our club, right? So as of now, Gakpo needs that help on the left-hand side to share the numbers and to share the playing time to get us over the line in those different competitions.
I mean, I did a poll so far. 65% have said yes, 35% have said keep. For me, the only reason it's a difficult situation. It's because he's got 2 years left on his contract. If he had, let's say, 3, 4 years, there's a bit more comfortability, flexibility on the contract. But the fact that he has 2 years left, and do we really back him to keep these numbers up? If Luis Diaz was guaranteed to get the numbers here this season, next season, I'm keeping him at the club for safe guaranteed. It's just the fact that if he doesn't sign that contract, and the reports about us not actually opening up a contract renewal, like Paul Joyce has said, with a year to go, his value is going to go down by at least 20 million, and especially if he doesn't produce those numbers. And we're going to be sat in a year's time and we're thinking, if we'd have sold him, we may have could have got that future safe proving of an Anthony Gordon, for example. And that's my only concern, because I like Luis Diaz and I like the chop and change that we can do that we've done between him and Cody Gakpo this season. I think it's worked wonders, and I think it's been brilliant for Liverpool. I just think, is he going to do it again? Is he going to do it again? Because we know Diaz in the past did struggle from that injury from Thomas Partey. And I know he's slightly got better and bit by bit. But when he goes months and months without scoring a goal, 4 months, like, yes, all being is his overall GA has been good this season, but 4 months without a goal for a winger at Liverpool, while playing most every game, is a raise for a concern. And
yeah.
what normal winger can you sell for 75 million that doesn't score a goal for 4 months? There's very few wingers out there, and I'm like, should we take the punt while it's hot? Do you think Al Nassr will come in for 75 million? Not what you do. Do you think the club will accept?
I think the club is weighing up their options, but as I said before, I don't think they will accept if they don't have a replacement in mind, right? So that's why you heard reports about Chuk. It's Chuk. He is his name from Leon.
Yeah.
He can also play on the left as well, right? And let me see, Nico Williams is overrated. I've seen, yeah, but Nico Williams, I would say Nico Williams could come in to flourish under Slot, right? I genuinely believe that Slot will be able to bring out the form that we saw in the Euros. What Nico Williams have. I think a lot of people forget the performances that Nico Williams had for Spain in the Euros, and the reason why he didn't have that kind of performances is because he played with a lesser club than Yamal. Remember, Yamal playing with Barcelona and he's playing with Bilbao. So if he comes into a good team, Slot will be able to help him flourish. So we always have to remember, if we see a player produce that quality before, we can't just write off that player and do think there's no player there anymore because he had a bad season for his club. You have to take into consideration the factors why he had a bad season with his club. And one of the reasons why is because he wasn't playing with the caliber of players that he was in Spain, because his performances for Spain is different than for his club, okay? Right? You have Gordon as well. He's a scouser, so we could go and get Gordon to replace Diaz. I believe Gordon will flourish in Liverpool, same way as Nico Williams. All right, but I think what the club will do is that if they don't get that replacement, they will not take the risk of thing, because on the other side, as you seen it on the negative side, they will see it from the positive side, that if we keep Diaz, he helps us to win our Champions League. He helps us to win the league again. We're going to get money. So even if his price dropped by 20 million next season, right, he helped us to get even more money this season by winning the Champions League and winning the league again. So even if his price drops to 20 million, we still make profit because of the numbers that he helped to get us across the line with those major trophies. So they will be watching it from the two standpoints. And I believe if they get a replacement, they sell him. if they do get a replacement and they do believe it have a good replacement out there for the right price, they're going to keep it, right? So it is a big dilemma for our club right now, but I think Lucho deserve the respect and the um, and the quality that he showed this season. He deserved that respect for us to, pay him a little bit, or to keep him around if we don't get a good replacement, because he has shown that he could do what he can do once he get the time and space and the support.
I do agree with this comment here that Kerkez will actually help support Luis Diaz, because as a fullback, we've seen the fullbacks do help support our wingers. Just like I think Trent, etc., Conor Bradley has massively helped Mohamed Salah this season. It would be interesting to see a Kerkez Diaz left wing, left back. Like, don't get me wrong, guys. I like Luis Diaz. I want him to stay. I'm just thinking the club will accept 75 million. I just think they would look at it from a point of view. 2 years left in his contract, 20 years old. Can we back him to do these same numbers again? I think that's the reason why the club will accept the fee if El Nasser do obviously come in for the 75 million pounds. Me personally, if it was up to me, I'm keeping him. But I'm just thinking. And answer to back to Nico Williams, his overall package is way too expensive. He's got 58 mil release clause. His wages are astronomical. Add into the agent fees and stuff like that, and he's looking like he's probably going to sign a new contract with Bilbao. For me, the left wing market is pretty dead. I did see a report about Leao yesterday, which I do not buy into. If I'm being honest, just no. Yeah, we have been spoiled with him, to be fair. Big up to Uncle Rods in the chat, mate. The link's in the chat, bro, if you want to join, Uncle Man. I'd love to hear your thoughts and feelings around Kerkez, Florian Wirtz. So if you want to join, mate, I'll put the link in the chat for you, bro, because it'll be good to speak to you and get you on the channel at some point. And like 350k to 400k, we ain't paying that for Nico Williams. Not a chance. For me, the only left wingers in water football that I'd be willing to sell Diaz for is an Anthony Gordon, is a Rodrigo, which I think is unlikely. I actually like the look of Semenyo at Bournemouth, but I'd like to maybe wait another season to see how he potentially does. Do you know what I mean?
And then the price too, Bournemouth will raise his price because he's another good player for them as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So his price will level. Yeah.
So I've had a debate with my uncle about Diaz as well, and I just think, for me, Gakpo. Who do you prefer at left wing to kick it off? Do you prefer Gakpo or Luis Diaz at left wing?
Away from home so listen to us. Away from home, Diaz. At home, at Anfield, Gakpo. Right. I feel Diaz is a player that if he gets more space, he's more clinical and he's faster than Gakpo. And once he has the space, he's a more threat on the counter attack. So away from home, I would prefer Diaz, and when we play at Anfield, Gakpo. Right. But if you have to tell me right now, I still think Diaz is our starting left winger. Right. Once Gakpo produced the same type of numbers again this season, then Gakpo will overtake him, because Gakpo had a very good season this season. He had in my personal opinion, he had a better season than Diaz, because his consistency was a little more potent and a little more prominent throughout the season. And it's only the injury that kind of hindered him to have bad performances in the latter part of the season. But just like you said, Diaz went 4 months without scoring a goal, and I don't think Gakpo did that this season, apart from the injury. So, however, Gakpo still has to prove that he could do this same thing again next season, because remember, Gakpo was coming off of a bad season under Klopp previously, right? So once Gakpo could prove this season that he could get those same numbers, he will be the starting left winger going forward. But as it stands now, I would still have just about Diaz as the starting left winger for now.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting, mate. I just wanted to welcome Uncle Rod's TV onto the channel. Big up yourself, mate, for
Hey, big up,
joining.
man.
Everyone go
man.
subscribe
My
to Uncle, man. Brilliant channel. I think you're on the road to 5K, aren't you, mate?
Yes. I'm over to 5K. Do you know what I mean? But like, listen.
Yeah, let's get into 5K, people. Come on.
Yeah, man. Are you from Trinity? You Trinity? I don't know the guy's name. Can you hear me? Right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
Oh, say. You're from Trinity. That guy there's from Trinity, isn't he? Trinidad.
Who?
Yeah?
JP. Yeah, JP.
Yeah, you're
I'm
from
from
Trinidad,
Trinidad.
isn't it? You Trinidad,
Yeah.
I can tell you the accent. Because my family's from St. Vincent.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're Caribbean brothers, man. We're Caribbean brothers.
Yeah, man. Big up.
It's true. Listen, my thoughts on Diaz. Listen, it's like this. Diaz, to me, yes, he's a good player, but I don't think he's hit the lengths of like what we want him to hit. Because like when you had Mane was just like phenomenal on that, on that left wing, and we thought we was getting something like that. Now, however, Gakpo's come in. He's done well, but obviously he has been hindered with injuries. Listen, if they're going to offer 70 or 75 mil for Diaz, I say take it. And then try and find a more younger talent. Do you know what I mean? Like something like, as I said, like a Rafa Leao, or something like that. Do you know what I mean? That can take our team forward. But Luis Diaz, I like him. I just don't think he's actually sort of like done what we wanted him to do. Do you know what I mean? In effect of like, you had Mane in the team, didn't you? You had Mane in the team, and Mane was phenomenal on what he used to do on that left wing. You know what I mean? He used to do it on that left wing stuff, and I just don't see the same end product with Luis Diaz. If you understand what I mean, I just don't really see it. So I would say, yeah, look, 70 or 75 million, you can't push that away. Do you know what I mean? Because you can go and buy a more younger talent. Do you know what I mean? That's gonna, obviously light up your team, and that's what we want to do, because we want to retain the title next season. I'm not bothered about anything else. Champions League, FA Cup, or League Cup. I want to retain that title next season. If we can get to 21, that's all good with me, bro. Imagine that day you get to 21, and imagine the celebrations in the parade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That would be it. Because last time it was 1.5 million, it'd be 2.5 million this time and beyond. It will just be. They'll have to literally lock down Liverpool. They'll lock it down. They'll just literally lock it down.
Come on, we could go up to England and celebrate all kind of things. It's start to save to go up to England.
It's true, isn't it? Put some money away, man, and come and save, man. You know what I mean? And just come to England, because it will be massive. It will be massive, bro. It will be massive if we can get to 21, because then we surpassed, do you know what I mean, Man United. Why we let it get so far in the first place, but we will surpass them. And I think that's what mainly we want to do. That's mainly what I want to do. I want to surpass sort of like Man United. Listen, if we win 6 titles in 6 years, league titles in 6 years, I'm happy. I'm happy if we just win that in 6 years, like 6 titles. I'll be happy. I'll be so happy. But I just think, and then we should be looking for younger talent, really, because like obviously, what's Lucho 28 now?
Yeah, 28.
28. So he's gonna slow down soon. Do you know what I mean? So why not strike while the iron's hot and try and find younger talent?
For me, with Lucha, right, it's some of the points when I watched him. is I actually think he's an okay winger. If he actually stayed at the football club, I'll be happy. It's the fact that he can go 4 months without getting a goal. Yes, we always notice with Lucho, end of season and beginning of the season, he's brilliant. It's when it gets to the winter, he has to get the flipping gloves on, and he'll go 4 months without getting a goal. They're the times where it's frustrating.
Yeah.
And we're at a point now with 2 years left on his deal, right? We have to think Edwards and that are going to show no loyalty. If they think it's a good price, they're going to accept. This isn't Jurgen Klopp where we're going to have favourites and stuff like that. This is a completely new regime that's going to be happening at the football club. And I just feel like with with 2 years left on his contract, with his wages as well, he's going to be wanting a big wage, guys. He's going to be wanting upwards of 200 grand a week at Liverpool.
Oh yeah.
Do Liverpool give it to him? Because it's not like he's on a decent wage. He's on 55 grand a week. So he's going to have to get to the point where, look, I need to somewhat make a career and make some decent money to future plan for my family and stuff like that. And the thing is, I just think he's off because the stuff that he posted on Instagram and his girlfriend, the way it was written and styled out, it was very much like a goodbye message because they kind of think what's going to happen is that he's going to be off in the summer. I mean, look, he's been a brilliant servant to Liverpool, but if you come in for 75 million with all the other things I've mentioned, I just think Liverpool take it and they maybe potentially reignite the interest in Anthony Gordon. Is Anthony Gordon, would you sell Diaz for Anthony Gordon if we're going around the table?
I'll let JP go first.
Yeah,
go.
100%. Why? He's Scouser. He's English, right? And he has the pace, and I think what Gordon is missing to take his game to the next level is a good quality manager to guide him, right? Big up Eddie Howe. He did wonders with him to get him to be a threat for Newcastle and a big threat in the Premier League. But I still think that there is some levels for him to grow, and I think he will need a good quality manager to guide him. And I think what Slot has done with Gravenberch, what he has done with the players that he had at his disposal to get them better, like Gakpo and these kind of guys, I think Gordon coming into Liverpool, Slot will ascend his talent to even greater heights. So that is why, and he's younger than Diaz as well. So that is why I will take him. The fact that he's a Scouser, he will give even more for the Liverpool shirt because and I'm not sure if his dream was to play for Liverpool, but being a Scouser, remember you have Everton there as well, right? So it's two sides.
I mean, sorry to cut across to JP. Sorry to cut across to remember he was at Liverpool Academy before he went to
Everton. Yeah. Okay, good. So the fact that we could bring him back home and get him, I think he will be the ideal signing for Liverpool, and I will take him over Diaz 100%. Remember, I was talking about that at the start here. If we could replace Diaz, I will take the 75 million. I'm not taking the 75 million and we're not doing any replacement. It wouldn't make sense, right? But if we could get Gordon, he would be a very clinical winger for Liverpool. And as I said before, we know how the English Scousers who want to be at Liverpool perform for their club, right? They give their heart and soul to the club. So that's why I have no doubt that he will perform to his best abilities here. So for me, 100%, if we could get that Gordon over the line, I will have no problems with that as a Liverpool fan.
No, you know what? I cannot disagree with anything JP said. I can't disagree with it. I mean, it makes sense. It does make sense because I do feel that Anthony Gordon is more potent than Luis Diaz. He's more potent. You're going to get more goals out of him. Do you know what I mean? The only thing that I'm kind of like, that is a row to me is his injury record. You know what I mean? That's the only thing that's a row to me. Everything else in there, he's an ideal candidate for Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? Because he can play it on the left and he can also play through the middle. So what you could get is, right, a situation where you got Wirtz as a 10 Gordon on the left, and they can intertwine. Do you know what I mean? Swap places, and they right, and that's going to confuse the defense. Do you know what I mean? Because both of them are direct players. They're direct.
Yeah.
They run at, and they're going to score. Do you know what I mean? So I would not be opposed to Anthony Gordon at all. I wouldn't be opposed to Anthony Gordon. And let's face it, there's not really a lot out there at this present stage. If you're looking for sort of like a top winger or a top striker, you know what I mean, to come into your team, there's not really a lot out there. Do you know what I mean? You got Fofana, that's a that winger from Leon. Do you know what I mean? That looks he looks good. He looks good. You know what I mean? And apparently we're monitoring the situation with that. Do you know what I mean? Striker wise, look, it looks like Ekateke is going to go to sort of like Chelsea. Do you know what I mean? And like Alvarez D might be a bit too hard to get. Isaac, it looks like Newcastle want to hold on to him. Do you know what I mean? Because I think if we do go for Anthony Gordon, we're not going to go for Isaac. Do you know what I mean? So then at the day, so like you're looking around the market for sort of like a player that fits the value. Do you know what I mean? And there's not many of them around. So like when I look at someone like Anthony Gordon as a winger that could possibly become available to Liverpool, I'm not opposed to the idea. I'm not opposed to that because, as I said, he's very direct in the way that he plays. Do you know what I mean? He comes off the left, or he can play through the middle. Do you know what I mean? He scored a goal for against us when we played them under Klopp, and that was through the middle. It wasn't off the left; that was through the middle. Do you know what I mean? So,
is that the game where Virgil got sent off?
Sorry,
is that the game where Virgil got sent off?
Yes, and then obviously Nunes come on and bagged those 2 goals. Do you know what I mean? But like he can sort of like do that job from the left, from the right as well. As we got to remember as well, he can play on the right as well. Yeah, right, and he can do it through the middle. So he's very versatile in the way he's playing. So it would make good sense that day that say, look, if we got 70 million, then we got 70 million for Diaz, yeah, right. We can use that money that we got for Trent, stick a 10 million on there, and say, look, 80 million for Gordon. They can't refuse that. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to it. Would not be opposed to it at all.
I think with Gordon this season, he's had a couple of problems. Since the cup final, he's been in and out of the team, stuff like that. His numbers have dropped. But there is 100%, we all know there's a player in there. We all saw that the previous season. And I think at Liverpool, he elevates his game a lot more. Look, the only thing that worries me is going back for Gordon. It's very rare Liverpool go back and reignite their interest in a player if it doesn't work the first time. I'd be intrigued to see if there's maybe a release clauses in there, like a gentleman's agreement. Let's say if a Liverpool or someone comes in for him, he is allowed to leave for a set price, because it just makes me funny how he was going around. He wanted to join Liverpool last summer. 3 months later, he signs that 5-year contract. And it just makes me think maybe there could be something within that contract that would allow him to join Liverpool if Liverpool respectfully came in for him. For the price of Gordon, I think it goes up by another 20, 15 mil. Mainly due to the fact of that Newcastle have just got Champions League football, so they're going to want to protect that protection value. And he's got 5 years left on his contract. He's got 5-year deal, guys. So he's 100% got the value on there. Do you think Gordon will? How much do you think Gordon will cost if we sold Diaz for 75?
85 million.
80 to 90 between there.
Yeah, I'm looking about 80.
It?
Yeah, but I'm looking about 80 to 85 and just paying.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Remember, the English too, so the English tax will come in there too as well.
Tax,
yeah. So you had to add on a little extra there. But for me, I wouldn't think Slot would have Gordon in his plans, mere to the fact that he's Dutch and he wants to build the Gakpo into the left winger that Liverpool wants to build Gakpo to be the starting left winger for Liverpool, right? You saw what he did with Gakpo this season, how he got his confidence up, how he got him to raise his level. And I think Slot, because he's Dutch, wants to kind of push Gakpo into showing that he could be the starting left winger in the coming season. So to buy Gordon, to play around Gordon, you're not giving Gakpo that kind of chance. And I think with Frimpong on the right and Gakpo on the left, I think that's his direction that he's going. So that's why I do think the Gordon deal could, because remember, Gordon not coming into Liverpool to be second fiddle, right? He would want to be the starting left winger. And I think because Slot trusts Gakpo and seen his improvement, because remember, Slot has his Dutch boys. He has Gravenberch, he has Frimpong now, and he has Van Dijk, and he is Dutch as well. So he's looking to build that kind of Dutch, not
camaraderie, innit?
Yeah. So he's looking to have that that type of side. So that's why I think Gordon coming in to Liverpool mightn't happen. I'll be shocked as if it happened, and especially how Newcastle has that English tax on him. They make Champions League, and he's one of Newcastle's best players. We will have to pay a good amount of money to get him, and I do think Slot will do that when he has a plan for Gakpo going forward. So you'll probably stick with Gakpo and get like a Semenyo or something, or somebody who could just play thing. Yeah.
I wouldn't like a Semenyo, man. I wouldn't like that.
I just saying like somebody.
Yeah, I know you're saying. Yeah.
Just killing that corner there. Yeah.
I 100% get you. I think in that case, you know what I mean. Yeah, I'm obviously understand what you're saying, and don't doubt it. In that case, I think what they should do is just keep Luis Diaz. Just don't sell him. Do you know what I mean? You know, because like the thing is about it, and right. Anybody coming to our team, right, and really coming to our team, I don't care if it's Wirtz, Frimpong, Kerkez, whoever, anybody coming into our team, even the players that I want, right, cannot be coming into our team as a for privilege. You know what I mean? Yeah, on that sort of thing there. You understand me? Right? You come in a team, right? You work with a team. There's no I in team. You understand what I'm saying? You work with a team. So if at the end of the day, sort of like, you know, let's say Arne Slot wants to rotate you, with the Gakpo, well, listen, at the end of the day, he's the head coach. You do what he says, yeah? If you don't want to do what he says and you want to be privileged, well, then stay at Newcastle then. Just stay at Newcastle. That's what I think. Stay at Newcastle, right? We don't need people coming into our squad, disrupting the harmony and saying, I. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's all about them. You know what I mean? We just don't want that. So I feel that in the day, sort of like, you know, if we did get sort of like a Anthony Gordon, it can work, because what it is, if we sold Diaz and we just have Gakpo, we cannot rely on just Gakpo. You know what I mean? We have to have somebody of his caliber or even above, so they can they got competition with each other. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I understand what you're saying about Semenyo. I do understand that, and maybe that could be a possibility because of the fact that like Richard Hughes was once with Bournemouth, and I think he brought him in. I think he brought Semenyo in. Do you know what I mean? So that could be it. Could be a possibility. Would I like to see it? No, I wouldn't like to see it, because I don't think he's good enough for sort of like our team, our club. But saying that, that's a possibility I can see happening. Do you understand what I'm saying, JP? That's a possibility I can actually see happening. Do you know what I mean? They might just say it and they will look, you know what I mean? We got like we got 70 odd million in the day for sort of like for Diaz, right? And like we try to think at the name of Newcastle, but they want to add them too much money. So you know what? Allow that. We'll just get Semenyo and then probably when somebody else comes up, do you know what I mean? You know, they'll bring them in. Or what they should do then is go for a Rafa Leao. Go for Leao. Do you know what I mean? You're getting for a reasonable price. I doubt if you have to pay more than 50 million for him. I doubt. You're probably looking about between 30 and 40 million for Rafa Leao. And he's very, I think under a Klopp system, under sorry, under slot system, with Arnie Slot, I think Liao works well.
Yeah.
I would not be sort of like averse to it. I'll be like, yeah, man, bring him in. You know what I mean? And he's young as well. Bring him in. Bring him in.
I like Rafael Leao, but I feel like for the price, hasn't he got a mad release buyout clause? And for me, Luis Diaz has actually got better stats than Leao, and he's only 2 years younger than Rafael Leao.
Right.
Like, that's the thing. I just feel like there's better value for money. I know we've been linked with Fafanas at Monaco, but for me, I want someone to come in that is going to be ready
Leon.
made, that is going to help. Sorry?
That Fafana's from Leon.
Oh, yeah, from Leon.
Yeah.
For me personally, I would rather someone come into the team and be able to help Mohamed Salah with the overload, to be able to not be so reliant on his numbers. That's why I wanted to actually go and get someone like a Gyökeres, because if he can come in and do at least 40% of his numbers, Salah's not going to have to be as reliant as his numbers. McAllister can chip in, Florian Wirtz can chip in, Gakpo can chip in, Jota can chip in with here and there, your fullbacks as well. So that's why for me the striker is more of a priority. But I've got a feeling the club is going to prioritize the left wing role more than the striker role. Is that something that's probably erased your minds, or are you still confident that the club will actually bring in a striker?
I think they're bringing a striker and a left winger. And
really?
I think that, listen, what it is, they know, they ain't stupid. They know it, and if they make the right moves, they can dominate for years to come. Do you understand what I'm saying? They can dominate. They can dominate British football like we used to back in the day. They can do that, So I feel it, because like what it is, like they're already gonna start listening to offers for Jota. They're gonna start listening to offers for him, because they said it, and they want to listen to offers. If the money's right, they will sell him to bring in more younger talent. You know what I mean? So that's like one of the strikers that is going, right. Then there's a Diaz thing, So if both of them go, naturally they will have to bring in a striker and a left winger. Do you understand what I'm saying? They naturally will have to do that. I think we get both. I think what it is, if we can just get this, like, this kind of like transfer out the way with Wirtz, if we can get that out of the way, then at the end of the day we can start looking at other sort of like parts in the team that need to sort of like excuse me, that need to sort of like be done. But I do feel, honestly, I richly do feel that we're more likely to get a striker and a winger. Do you know what I mean? And hopefully a DM. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because I think the striker is priority after we get the Wirtz and the Kerkez across the line, due to the fact that we need to have I always call it a plan B, because usually during the season, especially when you're coming down to the end part of the season where everybody fighting for Champions League places, relegation, and teams playing low blocks, and they're trying to gain points and stuff. I think we need that kind of plan B to help us get across the line and to play that direct style of football when needed. All right. Because if you don't have that type of striker who could finish the direct chances, I think the closest thing we have to that right now, and who I've seen, is Cody Gakpo. So like putting in a ball inside the box and somebody finishing with a powerful header is Cody Gakpo. But I do think that we need a powerful type striker in there. So like when the game's getting tight and the plan A not working, we could just throw on that striker to come and get a goal for us and to contribute in that way. And I think that is priority for Liverpool, because the way how I think Liverpool is going to set up on the slot system is that's how we're going to play for the entire season. But as we know in football, plan A doesn't work all the time, and you need to have different avenues to get across the line in different games. Not every team will not every team that you go against, you will like their style will be a good matchup for you. So sometimes you have to play physical and dirty to get an ugly win. And sometimes you might just need to cross a ball into the box to get a striker to get a 1-0 win and get out of there. Right.
Yeah,
So
right.
so I believe that the striker is priority. And once and a DM as well, just to give Gravenberch a little rest so that we could compete in Champions League, because we as Liverpool fans here, we want the 21. We will go for the 21. We will say we want to probably even sacrifice Champions League if we have to choose one. We will pick the league, but they are players. They want to go for it all. They want to win the double and the treble. So that's why I believe we need that DM so that people can get rest and rotate properly. So striker is the priority. So we just kind of tied up with the Wirtz and the Kerkez now. But I believe once we get those two transfers across the line, then we will start to be able to see a lot more outgoings and see what our next target will be going forward.
Facts, because just a quick one. I think what we do miss when you was talking about, like, you know, to get that 1-0 and get out of it, I think we do miss that Origi type of player. Remember, Origi used to be able to come on and score your goals. He done it against Wolves, he done it against Newcastle, he done it against a phenomenal amount of teams. He would just come on and he'll get that goal. He was somebody that you can rely on. I think, you know, when you had that like low block business, I think we do really need a player like that again, because ever since Origi left, we haven't had a player like that. Do you know what I mean? You know, and yes, we do need another player like that. So yeah, I think striker is a priority, and I think left wing is a priority. But like, obviously, we're gonna get these transfers out of the way. Do you know what I mean? The Kerkez and the Wirtz, get them out of the way, and then we can start looking at sort of like what do we need to do next? Do you know what I mean? You know, but yeah, it's true. Yeah.
For me, the striker market's actually really dead, because it looks like Arsenal are going to be getting Benjamin Sesko, Estetika and Delap to Chelsea. I'm not saying we're kind of left with the scraps, but
we are
kind of left with the scraps, because Julian Alvarez and Isak are not coming to Liverpool. I think we can all be honest and not, because the only way possible Julian Alvarez comes is if a swap deal with Darwin, something like that. Isak is not leaving Newcastle. I think with them with them winning the trophy, the Champions League, he's going to stay with the project. And I just think, for me, I'm looking at top strikers available right now. It's kind of only Gyökeres. Is Gyökeres a name that you would definitely take? I mean, he's got a release clause of 65 mil. His wages are cheap as peanuts. I feel like that's a deal that Liverpool could look to be doing. But
why not?
But I've got a weird feeling we're going to go for someone like a João Pedro, someone of that ilk. Doesn't really move the needle, in my opinion.
Would that be a bad idea, though? Would that be a bad idea?
That's why any striker who has some sort of quality, so a João Pedro has quality. And the reason why I say any striker who has some sort of, you say it right, it looking like we getting scraps. But you have to understand the type of football that we are going to play is what you call dominant football, where you have the likes of Wirtz, you have Salah, you have a lot of players, you have Frimpong and Kerkez bombing down the wing. So what is going to happen is that strikers is going to get chances. So as long as you have confidence and we in a place right now where we don't need a striker to come in and give us 20 goals, because we have that in Salah already. We just need a striker to give us a good 20 goals probably across the whole entire season, rather than 20 in the league and that kind of stuff and thing. So what we have to try and do is just get a striker who has confidence, who could chip in to help. You said it earlier on the stream, 40%. If Kerkez could come in and give us 40% of what he did, that's a good return we get in there for a striker. So our budget is not a good shout. Remember, we get in Wirtz, we have Kerkez over the line, we have Frimpong, coming in who signed already. So you just need a striker to come and just convert chances when called upon, and that's it.
Do you know what it is with João Pedro? I don't think it will be a bad shout because of the fact he knows the Premiership. He knows the league. Do you know what I mean? He's got experience in the league. I mean, in some respects, and some of these players that that got mentioned, you know what I mean, these strikers got mentioned. We also got to remember they haven't played in this league yet, so we don't know how they're going to adapt to this league. At least we know with João Pedro is that he's played in this league for about two or three seasons now. You know what I mean? He's gonna adapt. He knows what this league's all about and so forth. Do you know what I mean? So to me, it wouldn't be a bad shot. And also as well, I think that obviously going to JP's point, we don't need a bombastic, do you know what I mean, striker, right? Because I think at the end of the day, with the players that he's going to have around him, he's going to be bombastic. Do you understand what I'm saying? When you got like people like Wirtz around you, and you got like McAllister, Gravenberch, Sabozalai, Gap on the left, Sal on the right. Do you know what I mean? That when you got like Wirtz feeding you that ball,
yeah,
you know what I mean, yeah, right. You're gonna look bombastic. You're gonna look bombastic. So we don't really need that like the big superstar like player, because they're gonna get to there with the players they got in the team. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's why I think that João Pedro to me wouldn't be a bad shout to sort of like have in the team. Do you know what I mean? Because listen, he knows the league. He knows how it goes. Do you know what I mean? And he scores goals. He when he gets the right service, he's putting that away. Unlike Darwin Núñez, you know what I mean? Darwin Núñez couldn't hit a barn door with a banjo. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But like, but he's gonna bang. He's gonna get you goals. So I think when he sort of like when someone like João Pedro comes to Liverpool, yeah, he's going to improve. There's no doubt about that. He's going to improve with the players that he's got around him.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree. I mean, his numbers this season for a Brighton team is okay. 10 goals, 6 assists. I think those numbers would naturally be improved. For me, it's not about João Pedro as an actual player, as sense. It's more about the price. We know how Brighton deal when it comes to moving on players. They like to make the money. And especially considering we got McAllister for 35 mil, Caicedo in recent times for 100, Cucurella 50 plus. They know how to sell, and I'm thinking, how much will Brighton require and want for João Pedro? That's one of the things I am currently thinking about. How much do you think, and if it was to go in for Pedro, how much would you take him for? Maximum
60. What about you, JP?
Yeah, I you see, like I was talking earlier, and just like you said there, once they come into Liverpool, their price will increase, right? So the money that we get in him for, he's going to score more goals, and if we selling him in the 2 years, we are going to sell him for more than we bought him for. That's why the price is not that's why the price we getting him for is not a problem for me, because they go into increase in value, right? The trajectory Liverpool is going on. João Pedro will score goals in Liverpool. I have seen Wirtz as a player. I don't think Liverpool fans understand the type of player that we get in. We have a player who could pick up pass through a needle, right? And he is going to be a very quality player for creating chances for us, right? Just look at Palmer. Chelsea is like that. It's Palmer on steroids, right? So anybody coming in, look at the chances Palmer create for his Chelsea teammates. Jackson, and they're not perform and they're not scoring, right? Wirtz is way better than Palmer, in my opinion, in terms of that chance creation and that kind of stuff and things. So all we need is a striker who could, once he get the chance, score the goals, and you will see his numbers rise because he has dream. And then we have to understand on the next side of things, we have a world-class striker in Salah already, who is not going to do as much defending again this season. So when Wirtz play him in, he will be able to create or score goals for the striker as well, right? Because if we had a good number 9 this season, Salah would have had way more assists. He would have break the record with the Premier League goal involvements this season if we had a better number 9, right? So we have two creative qualities in Salah and Wirtz. And all we need is a striker to come in. So it doesn't matter what striker come in, is once the striker has confidence and can back goals, he will do well for Liverpool. So the price is not a problem for me at all.
Right, listen, I've got a dash here because I've got to go to appointment. Got appointment to go to, but like I just thought I'd come in for a little bit and obviously give
Always good having you.
Yeah. Listen,
Yeah, think of yourself, bro.
I'm available most times. You know what I mean? I'm available most times. So if you ever want me to come in the show, just holler at Mans and I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'll be there because like we're all Reds here, and we all got to support each other. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
this
man.
is the Red family, bro. Red family.
Yeah, bro.
It's true though, isn't it? So
before you go, right? Because I do already have a channel, but I'm looking to create like a little channel to kind of come on to the shows and stuff. And you know, I have a kind of name where I'm looking. So you will give me kind of like a, it's looking like the Trini Scouser, right? So like
Scouts TV.
Trini Scouser.
Nah, man, Scouts TV, bro.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
but
you know what it is? You know, you got like these Beijing guys.
Yeah.
Remember they got Beijing Reds TV and Beijing Pops, Rastakab, and you got Beijing Barnes and everything. Scouts Trini, bro.
Yeah. So you see, you got your channel name here because I was with those guys a couple of times, you know, chopping it up and talking Liverpool stuff with those guys too. Good channel as well. But I just subscribed to you the other day as well.
Okay, thank you.
You know, seeing and that kind of stuff and things. So you know, big up, Uncle guys, smash the like and glad having you here, man.
Bless up. Listen, love and respect to everybody in the chat. Love and respect to the panel as well. Listen and keep on doing that good work you're doing. Footy Reaction, you're doing some great work. I like to tune in most times when you're on. Do you know what I mean? You're doing some great work. So keep on doing what you're doing, bro, because you're doing some great work. And listen, as I said, you know what I mean? If you need me any other times at the day, right, just holler at me and I'll be there because it's all about support. But in the meantime, bless up, one love.
Take care of yourself, bro. Appreciate the kind words. Everyone go and subscribe to Uncle Rod's TV. You're on the road to 5K, man. Let's get this guy to 5K before the season starts.
Let's do
5K.
it. Bless up.
Big up, bro. Smash the likes on his channel as well and take care, bro. So, do you think you can? Are you gonna say for a bit more, JP, or have you got to rush?
Yeah. I have like a 30 minutes again.
Yeah, because I'll probably wrap this up in the next 40 or so minutes anyway. So, but make sure you're smashing the like button, subscribing. You heard it at first. JP might be starting a channel, which I was asking him for a couple of weeks to start one.
Yeah.
We're open that door slightly now.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Come on, man. But one thing I wanted to go for a couple of news bits I wanted to go over. Paul Joyce basically confirming that Liverpool are obviously looking to finalise the deal of 45 million, which I think it's going to be 35 million, probably plus a couple of add-ons. Thank God he's got rid of that horrible mullet, though. Jesus. Harvey Elliot, a man that's going to be leaving Liverpool most likely this summer. How do you feel about Harvey leaving and the price? And obviously, we'll get into some of the comments and what they feel and think. But yeah, make sure you smash the like, you're subscribing to the channel, and
me personally, I really appreciate Harvey Elliot. I think he had a bad break at Liverpool. He was probably the future. Liverpool was looking at him to be the future replacement star currently for Liverpool. But I think what happened with him is ever since he got the broken leg, he just couldn't get back into the squad, and he was more seen as a squad player rather than a starting player. And to me, that was his bad break in terms of because he was showing on the club that he was moving into that trajectory to kind of replace Coutinho. But I think the broken leg set him back a little bit, and he never really got that opportunity again to try and stamp his authority on the first team and see to take his game to different heights. Every Liverpool fan could see that Elliot is a quality player because he showed it in spurts every time he come on and sometimes when he get the starts. But as I said before, because he had that pressure of not playing week in, week out, he always had that kind of pressure on him to perform when he get the chance, and then sometimes he would have a good performance and then sometimes an inconsistent performance. And then it is kind of unfair to him because he's not playing every week, and if he's inconsistent, it is understandable because as a footballer you need to be playing to get to your level and to get your fitness up to be match fit to play games. So me personally, kind of disappointed what I'm seeing with him leaving the club because I believe that there's a player in there. But it's just that's the nature of the business. Sometimes it doesn't work out for you at a particular club. Sometimes you will get a good break. Sometimes you'll get a bad break. And he was one of the players who unfortunately got a bad break in his Liverpool career. And I just wish him the best of luck in his next club, and hope to see him do well. I also back England as a national team as default because Trinidad and Tobago not really make World Cups and perform at the highest level. So I usually back England in major tournaments. However, I hope to see him do well, and I hope that he could establish himself on the English team in the future. But as of now, with the Wirtz coming in and the moves that we're making, I do see a future for him at Liverpool. And it's kind of disappointing because he was a very young and exciting talent. It still is, still young and exciting talent. It's just wrong place, wrong time for him to flourish in Liverpool right now.
Yeah, I feel sorry for Harv. Like PL Champs #20 says, I feel sorry for him as well because he's not like he's a bad player. He has got qualities and he has got good traits. Again, if this was Jurgen Klopp, I feel like he stylistically suits us more. Like you saw that little triangle on the right hand side, you saw that Harvey, Trent, and Salah on the right. But with Arne Slot, the way we play, he doesn't have the long legs, the physicality to be able to get around the pitch as a Gravenberch and McAllister and Szoboszlai, and has that natural athleticism than Harvey Elliott does. You know, that's why all the players are ahead of him, like Curtis Jones and stuff like that. I think for Harvey, he's lived his dream. You know, as a Liverpool fan, he came in. He's a Premier League champion. He's won it all with Liverpool. Actually, no, isn't he a two-time Premier League champion now?
Yeah, two-time.
Yeah, he's a two-time.
He won the Champions League.
Yeah, he's a two-time Premier League champion. And so he's done everything from a Liverpool standpoint of view. He's probably looking at this now thinking, look, I have sent Liverpool for another year and I rot on the bench. As much as I love the club, I have to do what's beneficial for my footballing career. I think he will go to like a Wolves, somewhere like that, which I think would be a really good move for him, to be honest. And I think Liverpool probably would recuperate 30 to 40 million pounds, and that's a big reason why we'll be able to go big in the summer. And I think Arlie will look at it from that standpoint of view. Where do you see him going, and how much would you be willing to take for him? Because he has still obviously got a bit of time left on his contract as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought he was going to go to Leverkusen, like this comment says here, but obviously their interest as obviously called.
Anything between 35 and 40 million would be good. I see Elliot as a quality player in the future. He just needs to recover from his injury. Because remember, after you recover from a broken leg, it takes time to get back to that match fitness and that kind of stuff and thing, right? Even though he's playing and stuff, it's still a mental factor that he has to get over. So that's why you would see when he is challenging for certain balls, he's not going in 100% because of the fear that he might break his leg again, right? But I believe there's a quality player there. I mean, Wolves had a bad season. I see him flourishing like in the top table teams like a Fulham, like even a Bournemouth, Crystal Palace. Wolves had a bad season, but yeah, you could say Wolves, but I see him playing at a like a mid, even going at Spurs, even going in Spurs. You could play for Spurs. He will fit in nice in Spurs.
Now we
Right.
want him to we want him to have a good career and win trophies. So we can't see Spurs. I know Spurs. I know Spurs.
Start to win trophies now, huh?
I know Spurs just won the Europa League.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
come
yeah.
on, man. They're probably going to win over 20 years
But
again.
I just saying in terms of like quality.
Yeah, I know what you mean, bro.
You know, like I'm not seeing him going like a relegation team, like a Sunderland or a Ipswich or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, he's way better than that, and he could offer a lot more, right? So yeah, as a Liverpool fan, I kind of disappointed that we didn't give him his chance because, as I said before, I believe that we had a player there, and for me personally, like I would have played Elliot in the home games and play Szoboszlai in the away games, right? And that's why I felt that he didn't get his chances because when he came on this season, he helped us change the game. He scored in PSG. He sent through balls for Nunes in Brentford to get the goal. So he's a quality player. Just a little disappointed that he never got his chance to play in Liverpool. And as I said before, I still have a chance to see him, to back him because he's an English player, and I hope that he could do well for the English team as he grows in his career. So good luck to him. But 35 to 40 is good money for a player like him.
Yeah, we wish him all the best, and I feel like again he is going to be one of the players that is going to be massively moved on across the course of the summer. Guys, by the way, we're 4 likes from 80, so let's try and push that in today's stream. I'm going to JP will stay on the stream a bit longer, however long you can. I'm going to be doing another half an hour or so anyway, so yeah, let's try and aim for 80 likes in today's stream. 4 more likes to go. And also hit the subscribe button. We have 5 subscribers from 1,330, so on the road to 1.4k. Hopefully we can get there as quickly as possible. We want to hit 3,000 subscribers by the end of the summer. That is the target. But question: how do you feel about this man potentially leaving? Bear with while I find it. Joe Gomez has been linked for a move with Aston Villa, Bournemouth, Burnley, Everton, Leeds, Newcastle, Sunderland, and West Ham. All have potential interests in Joe Gomez, reportedly by the Empire of the Cop for 25 million. How would you feel about letting go Joey G? Because I feel like we are linked with, Jarrell Quansah already being linked with a move away from the club. Is that a cause for concern? The fact that Gomez could be going, Quansah could be going. Is it to the point where Liverpool there's a bit too much for Liverpool to be doing? Then you've got the striker situation to potentially sort out as well. Is this something that is concerning for you if we are to let a player like a Joe Gomez go, who has still got 2 years left on his contract?
Yeah. I don't think we sell both of Quansah or Joe Gomez. I think we keep in at least one. I think what would make more probable sense is because of Joe injury record and that kind of stuff. You tend to more keep Quansah because there's a player in both of them. But I think Joe Gomez is what 28 now. He's 28,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Still never scored a goal for us, by the way.
Yeah. But Joe Gomez is a little more versatile. So he could play along the back four, left back, stopper, and right back, right? So I would, if he wasn't really injury prone and stuff, I would tend to more keep him because of the versatility across the back line he could play. But me personally, because he's injury prone and stuff, 25 million a scene here for a 20-year-old who has that kind of track record of injury, is a good price for him, and he needs that time to be playing week in, week out now, right? I don't think he will get that at Liverpool, and that's probably part of the reason why he is being injury prone, because he's not getting that consistent game time to be match fit. And when he comes in, the match is too intense for him, and then he end up getting injured, right? So I think he reached his stage of his career where it's more realistic to move him on and for him to get game time because his career is coming down to an end. And he needs to start to now move to that place where he could play week in, week out, not be a squad player, right? So I think we more likely to let him go. If we let Quansah go, then we will keep him unless we get two stoppers incoming this season, right? So I'm not seeing we losing two stoppers and not bringing in anyone. So I think what more likely is more Joe leaving this season. But we'll have to wait and see. We getting deflected from the Wirtz and the Kerkez deal. So I think once we get those deals sorted out, then we will see a lot of outgoings going out, and then we will hear more rumors of who coming in. But for me personally, the more realistic thing to do is keep Quansah because he's not that injury prone. He's young. He has time to develop under Van Dijk and Konate, and Gomez is getting older and he's injury prone. So it's better you cash in on him and keep Quansah than you do the other way around. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm picking. If you said to me, you're picking one, I'm picking Joel Quansah, just because I think there's still potential there. There's the age officer on his side, and I think the market value. And obviously, he did sign that contract last year to 2029, so he's got that on his side as well. I think we're in a situation. I've got a feeling. This is just an opinion. I reckon we sell one of our centre backs, and I think we actually bring in Guay from Palace.
Oh.
I believe he's got 1 year left. This is a guy who I think is actually very good. He's been linked to Newcastle in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Got linked to this last summer. Very good England international. Very good at the Euros, I thought. He was better than John Stones. Probably one of England's best players at the tournament. I think he's had an okay season for Palace.
Mm-hmm.
And is that a player you would definitely look to bring in? Is the centre-back really high up on your list? Or is it something, one of those ones where if we sell, we bring him in? Or if not, you're fine?
Yeah. I good England international. Very good centre back. Anybody who pairs with Van Dijk will just be quality, right? As I said before, me being an England fan, I've seen him played for England as well and was really impressed. So very good shout if we could get him. But at the same time, Those kind of moves, the tend to, because remember he's with his England career is just up and running, and he doesn't want to come and sit on the bench to jeopardize that, right? So I would say, because he knows we have Konate and Van Dijk as first choice, I'm not sure if he will come to play second fiddle to those two guys and be third choice stopper. However, if I was his agent, I would tell him that Kanate is not a stand-in, and you could try to compete against Kanate, especially with Kanate's injury record. But he's a very good stopper. And my thing for him is that he's not really good on the ball. His passing and his, so I'm not sure if he would fit the slot type of play style. But in terms of defending, he's quality, and yeah, if we get a player like that, England international coming in, I would not I would not turn him away, because we just add into the quality of the squad. If Van Dijk or Kanate get injured, we just bring in a quality player to replace them until they're ready to return. Right. So I'm not opposed to him coming to the club, a very good defender. And yeah, I will welcome him to the club with open arms.
Yeah, for me, look, as you can see, Mark Guay has a year left. He's 24, by the way, and he's only on 50 grand a week. This is one where I think Palace might sell. If they can't reach an agreement in the contract, they're going to have to sell, because they know they're going to probably get 30 to upwards of 40 million. We was interested in Dean Hoyton previously, so we knew we was willing to spend that sort of money on a centre-back. I think it's only the case of if we sell a Quansah or Gomez. He's guaranteed all the cups. He's 24. Virgil will probably be gone in 2 years' time. So in 2 years' time, he's going to be a guaranteed starter. And we know what Konate's injury record's like. So he is going to be guaranteed 10 to 15 games in the Premier League. He's going to be, I reckon he will be guaranteed 20. If you can guarantee him 20 to 30 games, he might be willing to come. Now, if a Newcastle comes in, he'll probably more likely go there, because he's guaranteed to start every week, because we know the injury problems are like at Newcastle and the trajectory that they're on. I just think Mark Guay is a name I would keep an eye out for. Not because I've heard anything or anything like that. I just think it's a name that I think Liverpool will be looked at. There was linked with him last summer. A year left. I think it's a potential deal that could arguably make sense. Because I'm looking at other centre-backs and I'm like, price and stuff like that. I think Guay's pound for pound for the value. A year left. Wages, age, you'll be guaranteed.
Premier League proven.
Premier League proven. I think it's a centre-back that Liverpool might be looked at possibly doing. Only if Gomez was to leave. And Gomez, you know what? I feel really sorry for him. He's an ultimate professional. He's been at the club for over a decade, not scored a goal for him on that. But the mentality of this guy is something that should be looked at. You know, to come back from 2 ACLs in both legs, other injuries as well, to keep on going and going. This season, I believe Gomez has only played 9 games in the league.
Yeah. Got injured in West Ham.
Previous season, he got 32 games. Then it was 21 games. So the previous 2 seasons, he's been okay in terms of numbers. Then it was 8, 7, 28. And then obviously in the Cups, he played 3 games. Champions League, he played 4 games. Europa League last year, and he played 10 games. I think Gomez may look, this might be my chance to move on. I've won everything at Liverpool. I've won every single trophy there is to win at the club multiple times. He's had some big moments for the club. Really good partnership with Virgil, him and Virgil at times. With 2 years left on his contract, I believe he might be looked to thinking, look, I might, if Newcastle is interested, I might take the opportunity. I would like to see him potentially go to a Newcastle, a Villa, somewhere like, or a West Ham. I don't want to see him drop down as a Burnley or a Sunderland or a Leeds, respectfully. But to a Villa, a Bournemouth, a West Ham, I feel like that's a very good move to him. Very good, established Premier League sides, been playing regular football. You don't think there is into the game. And if he wants that one chance saloon with England, he needs that game time. If he wants that one chance with the World Cup, these are a lot of things I think people need to take into consideration for next
Yeah.
year's World Cup. A lot of players will be leaving clubs because they're thinking, look, I want to be at the World Cup. I'm going to have to leave like a Harvey Elliot. If he has a really good year, maybe 1 or 2 injuries, he could be looking at that World Cup squad. So you have to think a lot of players are going to be leaving this summer due to the World Cup coming up. And I think Joe Gomez is going to be one of those names. We know Stones has injury problems. And there's definitely going to be a couple of spaces on that list. So Gomez might look to be moving and thinking, look, get regular game time, go to a decent, good established club. One of them goes to Liverpool, and I think he could be one of the guys to be gone. And I don't think Liverpool will stand in his way. He's shown brilliant loyalty to Liverpool. He's been at
Yeah.
Liverpool since he was basically a kid or a teenager almost. So for 25 million, you probably take it and you reinvest it, and you probably do go and get someone like a Mark Gray, like I mentioned. Just quickly, are you a fan of keeping Jerome Quansah?
I do
If we're
think,
talking CVs,
yeah, I do think Slot trusts him just as yet, or else he would have gotten more playing time. But I do think that there is a player in there. It's just he needs to kind of be a little more professional and a little more head on his game, right? Because I know he had some off the field problems, especially with social media and these kind of stuff with some things in his private life and that kind of stuff and thing. But for him, his focus has to be more on the pitch rather than off the field. And I think there is a player in there to develop into a good centre back for Liverpool. But I think the jury is still out on him with Slot, that he has to prove to Slot. So if he doesn't, then he will probably leave. But for me personally, there is a player in there. He just needs to focus, work hard, and keep his head on playing football and try to not get distracted from the outside. Because remember, he's young as well, right? So, me personally, give him a season again and see what goes on. And if not, then you try to cash in on him and you bring in somebody new. All right, but that is what I see. Gomez is less realistic because of the injuries, and we going forward in the competitions, we will need players that we need to depend on, right? And if you're continuously injured, um, you will think I seen Hato here as well. But Gay is a quality international. My worry for Gay is that is a World Cup year, and would he come to Liverpool now if he might not get the playing time for Tuchel to pick him for the England squad, right? So I think he is looking out to be number one where he's going, right? Because remember, this is a World Cup year coming forward. All right. So, yeah, well, sorry to cut it short. I had to go now. Is always a pleasure, man. One of the
always a pleasure,
best,
bro.
yeah, one of the
I
best Liverpool channels on YouTube. That's why I subscribed, and it's always good being on
appreciate
the
the
show.
kind words, mate.
Yeah. yeah, man. So everybody like and subscribe. As I said before, hopefully next time I come on, I might have my channel up, up and running. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I will continue to support this channel. I already told my Liverpool friends to subscribe to you as well, because the content that you bring is very good, and it's always good to have Liverpool fans who have similar tastes and similar understandings with certain things. All right, so glad for being here, and we will link up in the future. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
100%, bro. When you get that channel sorted, we will be I'll be
Yeah,
shouting you out.
collaborating more. Yeah.
We're gonna get you to that 1K quick, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Big up to yourself, bro, though, man. Take care of yourself, mate.
All right, man. Later.
Yeah, big up to JP. Always welcome on the channel, people. People, we are 2 likes away from 80, so let's get those smashed on the damn channel. We're gonna go through some comments. We'll do another 15 minutes, and then it's been a good 3-hour live session. Appreciate every single person that's joined, that have liked. Big up to Uncle as well, who joined the stream earlier. Some comments. I want to go through slot made sure league. The only player slot really praised in most interviews was Joey G. Slot rates him. Yeah. I have them interviews in a large genie. Centre backs is a must right now before we even sell anyone. If we sell, we need 2. Gray is much better than Hatta. I think he's just more established right now. Wasn't going to go for a slot. You even said that. So I actually don't think Kanate is as bad on the ball as people make out. I think in times that Kanate is really bad on the ball is when he can run into those, make those little runs into the midfield like a John Matip used to do, like a full-playing centre-back. And he would just lose it in an awkward positions, and when you've got Trent already bombed forward, it leaves. That's where the danger is. I like Kanate, and hopefully it looks like his contract talks are continuing still to stay positive, which is good. But I do think Gray's a name that we could look out for. Same with Jarrell Hatto as well. There was some comments. I wanted to start a big up to you, bro. Quansah will stay. Gomez will go. Gomez is injured prone, selling for 25-30 mil. That's a good Chelsea. Kerkez media announcement will be legendary, liking posts. Jokkers will be United player, unfortunately. Isaac and Alvarez, we got no chance for. So that's what we go for. The striker market so weak. Watkins is Watkins a name I'll take? No, to be honest. I'll go all in for either test the war is a little 60-70 million Darwin, why not? Yeah, I'll have to wait and see. Striker won't and shouldn't be the main target at Liverpool with Wirtz alone capable bringing goals. We need a backup defender more. Gomez is injured prone. Quansah is still not reliable for selling. I think with Juro Quansah, it's about confidence issues, and I won't say it's really about his quality because we have seen at times he has quality to show for Liverpool. I think it's more the fact of his confidence levels. Like you saw, it took him a bit of time to get back off the incidents when Arne Slot took him off against Ipswich in the first half. And we didn't really see him get back to his confident selves for a while. I'm hoping he will because I do think there is a centre-back in there. We're looking at Lukaku and Higbee. Higbee is my number 1 choice in terms of realistic and stuff like that. Bastoni plays like that, obviously. Lukaku is a player, like I've mentioned him on streams. Yeah, I know he signed that new contract, but when you come knocking, you come knocking. Kerkez is 26, will be 27 soon. So I'll still take him, obviously. What do we do? If we saw Lucha, it'll be Gordon, we all know, and I'll be fuming. Big up yourself, bro. Wirtz, Bellingham, best 3 in the world. That's 10s. Wirtz is a future Ballon d'Or winner. Fact. Last German player who was class was Klinsmann. Was okay. And his best friend Frimpong, them two unbelievable at Leverkusen. Now they're both at Anfield. Yep. People, let's get those. Smash them thumbs. Let's get liking the damn channel. Is there anything else I wanted to go over today? So yeah, it looks like the Liverpool are going to be adding Frimpong's Bezzy mate to the equation. Let's see who is live that we can raid. Who's live that we can raid? Who's live? We should go and raid. Let's raid. I know we should raid LFC. Let's raid LFC Red Forever channel. We'll raid them, guys. We've got 38 people in the building, guys. Smash them like, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be wrapping up here. It's been a good 3-hour live. Really enjoyed it. We'll be back live tomorrow, unless later today we go for Kerkez or from Wirtz. Wirtz is playing tonight, so keep an eye out for him. But yeah, guys, I appreciate it. Make sure you all take care of yourselves. Go and watch LFC Forever channel that we are raiding right now. Take care, guys, and we'll be back tomorrow. Take care. Au revoir.